Good morning! What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another live stream. It is a Thursday, beautiful Thursday, April 15th at about 9:06 in the morning. Wanted to go ahead and jump on a little early and answer your question, Mr. Wesley, live. Kind of give you an example real quick and hopefully provide some clarification. So, how are we going to do this? I'm going to pull up my fancy drawing tool real quick. I'll just get my paint tool out. Ooh, we're going painting today. We are going painting today. So, when we talk breakouts, guys, you can definitely trade the breakout. Again, I don't recommend it as, for newer traders, because as a new trader, I got caught up in a lot of the emotions, the FOMO, chasing the breakout, getting in too late, the stock faking out, dumping, me not cutting my losses, blowing up accounts, right? Because it's very quick. Breakouts, boom, quick. They come back down quick. You look over, you're down. You start making emotional decisions. So, I, adapted this concept as a newer trader to, again, to eliminate the emotions, to give myself more time to plan my trades with a little bit less risk until I mastered the breakout, right? And I have my own approach and my own strategy behind trading breakouts, not actually trading the breakout, right? But getting in before if I see some market structure into the breakout, right? And we've seen that a few times over the live stream. So again, you can trade the breakout. If you're successful with it, you're disciplined, you're emotionless, you cut your losses, and you can manage your risk, go for it, right? If that's something that works for you, it works for you. You can trade those breakouts. I'm not saying don't at all, they're bad. I'll trade breakouts when the market's hot, and you can make a lot of money, but I'm also really good at managing my risk, cutting my losses. Newer traders sometimes struggle with that. So what I like to teach the newer traders to kind of get in the habit of waiting for the stock to break out, getting some criteria behind it. It gives you time to plan your trade. You get emotionless. You don't hesitate. The risk is a little bit more manageable as well. And then back test, paper trade the breakouts and see if it's even something that you like, because there's a lot of breakout traders and there's a lot of traders that don't like trading the breakouts because they know they're pretty risky, right? So let's say we have a setup, right, where we have the stock that opens, right? Let's say this is the open and it opens red, okay? So it's 9:30 in the morning. 1 minute candle opens red, right? And let's say that it kind of pulls back and it gets a nice U shape. Well, that open, traders respect as a level of resistance, right? So traders are looking at that open being resistance, and breakout traders, okay, will actually look to buy the break over the open for a possible big U shape red to green move. So let's say the stock starts breaking on over, right? Let's say it starts squeezing. You're like, oh, heck yeah, this stock's breaking out. All right, I'm making my entry. So here's your entry right here. All right, let's say it does that. And let's say it's a fake out breakout and it does one of these, right? That's going to take you out. That's a very big loss, right? That's a very big loss. A lot of newer traders can't cut those. And what if it just fades the rest of the day? Now you're screwed. So again, you could see a big fake out breakout quick. And if you don't have a proper broker, if you hesitate, you get emotional, you're not cutting your losses up here. But let's say you're holding the bag because you got scared and now you're really down. What are you going to do in that situation? Right? That's really tough. So with that being said, I say don't buy the breakout as a new trader, because if you can't cut those losses quick, if you have something like this, right? and it dumps, you're not in. So what would we want to see, right? You know, I always say, wait for the stock to break out. So if it does this, you're not in. But let's say it resets itself back up. Let's say it's putting itself in like an ascending triangle formation, right? Looked like a red to green move, a little bit of this fake out breakout, but now we're starting to build these higher lows, and we're starting to see we have a nice little ascending triangle formation, right? Where we have resistance right across the top. We have this uptrend, right? Again, you could see the same thing. You could see this stock, okay, it's setting up. Oh, it's going to break out, and then it could dump, okay? So what do I like to say? Wait for the breakout, and here's some criteria. So, okay, setting up, not in. Boom, it breaks. It's breaking out. Okay, great, it broke out. So now you can sit here and say, okay, this is $5, right? That breakout line, that line of resistance right here, let's say it's $5, all right? So you can sit here and plan your trade. All right. You know, if it pulls back the $5, we get a healthy pullback, right? Old resistance, new support. I could look to take this long off $5, and let's say I put my stops at $4.85. Right, so right there, you can sit here and plan your trade. Okay, we broke over $5 out of an ascending triangle formation. Old resistance is new support. If we pull back to $5, I know I can make my entries. I know my stops can be $4.85. I want to give it some breathing room, right? Right? There's no right or wrong answer. You can say 50 cents. You can say 20 cents. Really just lines up with other, forms of technical analysis as well. So you have to do your due diligence. But let's say you say, okay, $5 pullback, stock broke out. I can have stops at, $4.85, right? So now I know that my risk is about 20 cents. All right. So that being said, you can go ahead and say, okay, how much am I willing to lose on this trade if we get the pullback to 5? I'll risk, $150 on this trade. I'm okay with doing that, right? I've accepted the fact that I could lose $150, and I'm deep down okay with that. Okay, if I get stopped out, there's nothing unexpected happening. I know that I'm okay with losing $150. So that means how many shares can I get? I can get 1,000 shares. But buy 1,000 shares at $5 and I get stopped out at $4.85, I'm going to lose about $150 on the trade. Cool. You just built your plan. $5 entry, $4.85 stop, 1,000 shares. When it's all said and done, I'll lose $150. And you're okay with all of these things, right? As the stock's breaking out, you're building your plan. You're becoming okay with taking this trade if it sets up. So let's say, okay, we got the breakout. What's something you want to look for? What do we say? Breakouts, we want to see increased volume, right? So now you're sitting back looking at criteria. So you've got your plan built, right? You're prepared. Now you're just looking to see if criteria is met. So, okay, boom. Stock's breaking out. Nice volume. Nice increased volume along the breakout. Now we just got to wait for the stock to pull back to 5. It may not, right? It may not. Not every stock is going to pull back 100% of the time. But even if you have 10 stocks that all break out, half of them pull back and retest and move higher, you still have a lot of opportunity out there, and it's a lot less risk, right? This stock could easily do a small pullback and then continue to shoot. And when the market's hot and there's a lot of momentum, that's when it's okay to trade breakouts, especially if you can cut your losses, right? When stocks are breaking out, stocks are breaking out. When we have a streak of breakouts, everything usually follows suit and things break out, right? Momentum follows through. But when we have a really iffy market, stocks aren't really ripping 100, 200, 300%, just breaking out and actually holding their gains, that's when we want to say, okay, let's not trade the breakout, but let's wait for a breakout to happen, wait for the pullback. So again, you built your plan, you have your criteria being met, breakout on increased volume. Good, right? It's pretty good. Now we're waiting for the stock to pull back. So as this stock's pulling back, what do we want to see? I want to see that volume decrease, right? So now you're just being patient. All right, cool. I have my plan built. I saw the increased volume. That's healthy. Pulling back on decreased volume. That means sellers are being depleted. That's healthy. All right, cool. Some criteria is being met. Maybe you get the 9 EMA at that time, right? Maybe the 9 EMA is chilling right there. All right, cool. So now not only is it $5 support off old resistance, now we got the 9 EMA close by as well. So you're just getting more reasons to take the trade. So now you can say, okay, cool. I'm going to go ahead and make my entries. Right, I'm going to go ahead and make those entries right at $5. And then again, you want to see some volume move in, right? When buyers move in, you want to see an increase in volume. So boom, now you start to get the bounce. So you know where your stops are at, 485. What would your target be? All right, your first target would always be a retest of that previous high. So what's beautiful about waiting for the pullback is, number one, it gives you time to build your plan, assess your risk, become okay with it to where you can trade emotionless and you can trade without hesitation. The other beautiful thing about it is you have a proper target. On the breakout, this could break out 10 cents. It could break out 50 cents. It could break out $1, right? You don't have any intraday overhead resistance. Let's say that's a new, this would be a new high a day. How high is it going to go, right? So if you wait for the pullback, you have a good first target. The good first target is going to be a retest of that previous high, first target, right? So that's where you're going to take half of your size. That's what I do. That's what I recommend. If I'm long 1,000 shares, let's say that's 550, right? So I'm long 1,000 shares. I'm risking, $150, and my first target is 550. So, the stock moves around, boom, hits target. All right, so I'm taking 500 shares at that target, and I'm going to leave 500 shares as a runner, right? What if it breaks 550, runs to 6? I still want to have some size on the table, right? But let's say it comes up to 550, retests the high, and it doesn't break out, and it comes down to $5. You were up $500. Now you're break even. Maybe you hold below 5 and you get stopped out at 485. You're going to be wishing that you actually took profit at 550. So that's a good place to take half. So 500 shares at a 50-cent gain, you'd be locking about 250, right? And what I like to do at that point in time is bring my stop loss. So I took half my size, 500 shares at that first target, that previous high, okay? What I'm going to do is then bring my stop from 485 to break even. So what happens if this stock comes back down and I get break even, on the stop, right? I'm break even. I'm still making $250 on the first 500 shares, right? If you have your stop loss still at 485, you're actually going to be down 125, give or take, right? So now you're only making 125 instead of that, 250, whatever the case is. So again, that's why when I take profit, right, I leave a runner on the table. I will bring my stops to break even. And as this stock goes, I will scale out and continue to make money. So that's what I recommend. Hopefully that a lot makes sense. I know we kind of ran through that in about 5 minutes. I can actually do a proper lesson today on that and really break it down. But I wanted to answer your question with some visual representations. Again, kind of the mindset that it puts you in, why I don't recommend trading breakouts, especially if you still deal with emotions and FOMO and a lot of those variables that can impact your decision-making process in a negative way to where you end up taking a much bigger loss than what you anticipated. This gives you that time to plan your trade, to assess your risk, to assess how much you're okay with losing, put you in a good mental state to where when you start to see these stocks set up, you can trade without hesitation. If you're stopped out, you're cool with it. You can manage your risk a lot better. And like we've seen this, how many times have we seen a stock break out, pull back, and retest old resistances, new support, and get back up to that previous high, if not higher? We've seen it time and time again. And it's a really calm, cool, collective strategy, right? It's not all heightened with emotions. Oh, I got to chase the breakout. Because when let's be real, the stock's here looking like it's going to break out. You're hesitant. Oh, wow, it's really breaking out. So by the time you get in, you're getting in here. You're not getting in the breakout area. Let's be real. You're late 5-10 seconds. You're late 10-20 cents because you hesitate. Right? Stock's breaking out. Should I buy it? I don't know. Is it really going to break out? Oh shit, it looks like it is. And then assume that's a big break or fake out breakout. Now you're taking even more of a loss, right? Because you're getting in super late. So again, that's my recommendation for new traders. That's what I did as a new trader. And it really helped me out, right? It allowed me to increase my win rate, not trade the breakouts when it wasn't a super hot market, but still find great opportunities to take low risk, high reward setups, 80-20 setups. And this is a great setup for new traders. It allows you to be, patient, disciplined, emotionless. It really helps strengthen your mindset and a lot of those variables that do make a difference when you're a day trader. All right. Yeah, Wesley, 100%. 100%. The market has been very discouraging lately, right? It's been very hard, not just from me, but from a lot of well-known traders that I stay in touch with. The market has been very choppy, but that's the stock market, guys. It's not hot 100% of the time, but when it's hot, and it's fun. You know what I mean? So with that being said, you go probably out of the 365 days, you probably go through like 100 plus of just dead. Sometimes they're scattered. Sometimes they're 2 weeks in a row. It's very discouraging, but that's when you sit back. You got to be really, really patient, jump into a paper account, study up, always apply yourself, right? Don't just sit back and stare at the market when nothing's going on. right? Educate, study, do something productive, you know, and don't put yourself in a position to take on trades to lose unnecessary money when the market's hot, because we know it's an average, right? We can have 2 hot months in a row to where we fucking make, you know, half of our year's worth of income that we want to make in just 2 months because it's that hot. So it's okay to be able to sit on the sidelines for a month, right? It's okay. Sometimes I like sitting on the sidelines and not participating. But when the market's hot, I'll participate and I make a lot of money to where it'll average out beautifully, even if I don't participate for a month or 2 out of the year, right? So what's going on? Yo, yo, yo. Good morning, DB. Good morning. Nice value bomb. Whoop-bah! Value bombs. Thank you guys. So hopefully that made a lot of sense and why I like it. But again, back test those breakouts. Make sure that it works well with you and the type of person you are, because breakouts don't work for everybody. So what do we got going on today? So far, 3 trades for me on the day. TAOP, big boy right there, 700 bucks. INO short off that 1082, 191, and then a small loss on KXIN before it popped. I was actually long on KXIN off the pullback, right? So we had a nice move up. Stock's pulling back 50% retracement right into that 9 EMA, and I actually grabbed it right here. So I grabbed it at 7:30. I was way too early. So I grabbed it at 278, comes down. I think it's going to go ahead and drop lower and crack. I cut it, negative 68 bucks. Next candle holds a beautiful doji. I'm like, the market's iffy, right? The market's not really moving. Do I really want to take another trade on it? Not really. And then I watched it push. I'm like, all right, cool. So it actually worked out. So 1 trade loss over on KXIN. We had some news this morning. FDA, received NASDAQ approval. So shares surge higher pre-bill. KXIN receiving NASDAQ approval. All right, so we got KXIN. We're going to keep on watch. KXIN is a 39 million in float stock. Currently trading 4.5 million shares. Million. And KXIN's daily average volume is 3.4. All right, so we got a little bit of extra activity on KXIN. So we're going to keep that on watch, but I think that's the top one we should focus on. Nope, I think it's a good play if it starts moving up. I do think we should leave it on the watch list as a back burner, but I think we have some better opportunity. Now, if KXIN does start moving on up, how high can it go? Well, right now, we're below that 200-day moving average. That 200-day moving average is 275. So if we get held down by that 200-day, we'll probably continue to go red today. For any reason, we get back above 275 and we can hold this. We do have room to $3 over on KXIN. Over $3, we have room to $3.50. So there is a lot of upside potential, but we really got to get back over that key level of resistance being the 200-day moving average at $2.76 KXIN. Next, we have TAOP. TAOP in Bitmain signed a purchase agreement for Antminer 19J Pro Bitcoin mining machines. So we have, Bitcoin press release. We got our keyword there. Signed a purchase agreement for an Antminer. Looks like an S19J Pro. Oh my goodness, that S19J, baby. They getting the big stuff right there. I don't even know what that means. But a Bitcoin mining machine purchase agreement. So we got TAOP. All right, being a low float stock, 6 million in float, trading 5 million shares with some news that got some hype on in this TAOP. I locked in 739.70 on TAOP off the short. So what I did, I was waiting for the short off this daily resistance. All right, so I saw we bounced. We also had our 50-day. We also had our 13 SMA right around that 852. So I'm like, you know what? 852 is going to be a great short area. So I go 1,200 shares, 852. It squeezes up to 9. I'm like, okay, it's squeezing, but now we have $9 resistance. I'm going to take some heat, and let's see if I'm right on the short off solid resistance. I mean, look at how many times we bounced. Look at the 50 and the 13-day. That's some pretty good resistance. So I went short. I averaged into my position. A candle close above 9. That was going to be my stop. We immediately saw this pull back below the 850. I had a really good cost basis. We got a really nice wash right here on this candle back down to 750. I went ahead and locked in a little over $700 on that short off TAOP. So that worked out great. So again, we have some news, we got a low float, we got some good volume, all right, on TAOP. And this one does have some room back up towards around that $8.59 mark. Now, if we can ever break over that 8.50 to 9, we could see 10. We could see 10.67. We could see $13, right? We have a lot of room to the upside, and we can see this stock is a former runner, right? This stock went from around $3 all the way up to $16 early this year, all right, TAOP. So it does have past chart history. It is a former mover. Traders like seeing that. We have news. We got a low float with volume. TAOP is definitely one that I'm going to keep on high watch today. All right. Moving on. Then next we have INO. All right. INO is a short as well. So INO moving on up this morning on COVID-19 vaccine candidate INO 4800 induces robust response against virus strain. So some decent press release there on INO. INO is a former mover as well. I remember this stock being a really nice mover last year during the pandemic, right around $4 or $5, hitting highs of 33 because they were dropping COVID press releases left and right. And that was the beautiful thing. Even though the markets were down, small cap pharmaceutical companies were up because they were dropping COVID, press releases left and right. So INO, former runner, a lot of opportunity here. Since everything kind of settled down with COVID, we can see that, this stock has settled down as well. But we got some nice news this morning on INO. I actually took this short this morning off 1088, 1082, right off these highs. Why? Well, when I look at the daily chart, right, my first thing is mapping out areas of support and resistance. So I see a couple bounce areas, some resistance, a couple bounce areas, some resistance, and I see that 50-day at 1087. I also see we haven't had a pullback yet. Right? The stock's moving up, but we haven't had a pullback. We're a little overextended, and we're right into that level of resistance. So I'm taking my shorts at like 1077, 1079. Stops were going to be over 11, and I covered down here around 1008, 1014. Was able to make a 191.98 over on an INO short. So far, 3 trades on the day, 2 for 3, up a little over $800, not too bad. One on INO, and we're going to keep this on watch as well. TAOP. And KXIN, a couple back burner plays I'm going to keep on watch today as well. We're going to be watching AI once again to see if we get some continuation out of this stock. Daily chart yesterday looks really, really nice. We have some key resistance to get over, but if we can start breaking on up, we have room to $80 on AI. So I do want to keep this on high watch. The daily chart looks really, really nice. Yesterday's close was good. Overall, I think we can see some nice action here today over on AI. We have AMC moving up again. We have a little bit of activity on GameStop, so we're going to be keeping, AMC and GameStop on our back burner as well for some possible potential plays. And then, obviously, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Coinbase. And this is a perfect testament on why we don't buy right out of the IPO. Why I said I'm not going to, why I suggested against it. Because imagine this opening up at 380, saying, all right, if it breaks over 4, I'm going to buy at 4. So you're in at 402. Stock pushes up. 430, you think it's ripping and running. Within a minute, boom, back down below your entry. Fade, 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 fade. Let's say you invested all your money at the IPO. Here at 380. Now it's at 310. You don't have any money left to average to bring your cost basis down, do you? You don't. You bought here, this green line, and that's your entry. Right now it's at 310. Man, I wish I had more money on the table to where I could buy down here at like 320 and bring my cost basis down. Now, if you would have allocated like we talked about, let's say you bought, 100 shares, and then say it came down to 320 and you bought another 100 shares. Where's your average cost basis now? Your average cost basis is going to be this red line, right? So buying all in at once, you're all in at 380. Scaling in, half, get a nice average cost basis. Look, you're break even right now. Instead of being down 30 points, you're actually break even because you were smart. You allocated your funds, you got a nice average cost basis, and you can continue to do that. So I bought yesterday, COIN, my first $500 investment. Like I said, I'm taking $500 over the next 20 days, and that's going to be my investment. So again, today, I'm going to jump in and buy another, probably share. Friday, I'm going to jump in and buy another share. Now, over the next 20 days, depending on where the price is, I'll have 20 to 30 shares. And I think that's pretty good start. That's about a $10,000 to $15,000 investment. And I'm okay, because if this stock does rip and run, if this is a great long-term investment and we see Tesla-like prices, $1,000, $1,500, Who knows, right? That could be a really, really good investment even on a small amount of share size, okay? So again, coin, I'm actually in at 322 is my average cost base is 322. I saw the bounce. I'm like, you know, we're low. We came off those highs pretty aggressively. I think we start to see a little bit of a bounce, right? So with that being said, we're going to be definitely watching COIN today as well for some possible plays. Let's have a fun day. Let's stay smart. Let's continue to make some money. And let's do it. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Other than that, guys, the market is open. Let me get these scanners up for you guys. Remove my beautiful face for you. And y'all set. All right. So how far can coin come down? Well, we know yesterday's lows were 310. You know, if we ever fall off all the way to 310, I expect to see some traders possibly move on in. We had some resistance and support at 340, right? So we had a little bit of resistance yesterday. We got above and post market, held it. So right now we can see that buyers are fighting to hold that 340 on up. The open was 350. If we break the open, we could definitely see some nice action once again today over on coin. TAOP, definitely a possible bounce play down towards around 687. All right, so around 687, you could definitely see a nice little bounce play on TAOP. So nothing right now. The only one that may be setting up soon is going to be TAOP. TAOP. And this one's trying to hold those highs from post-market right around 725. But I think this one has a lot of great potential today. We're also off of yesterday's open. Yesterday's open was 721. TAOP is trying to hold yesterday's open. TAOP. Again, that open yesterday was, again, 721, and that's kind of where we're at now. So let's see if we get a close right above. Decreasing volume off yesterday's open. We could see this try and hold and get a little bit of a red to green move over on TAOP. I'm okay with taking small size and building a little position here because I do think TAOP is going to be a nice mover today. I think it has some of the best potential. It's the lowest float stock. It has some good news in regards to like Bitcoin. You know, anything like that, get some nice action. And yeah, low float with good volume. So I took a small 100 shares, guys. Small 100 shares. I'm already in the green today. You know, I'm exceeding my goal. If I can lock in another couple $100, great. But I'm not going to give anything back. You know, I don't want to give anything like $100 back. So that's why I'm not 1,000 shares right now. I'm 100 shares, right? If I lock in 50, 60 bucks here and there, let's go. We're good to go. So small 100 share position on TAOP. I do think we could see some nice action today. Possibly back up towards around $9. I'm in at 727. And depending on how we look, I may slowly average into this position. If we break and we start pulling back and just looking really nice, I'll definitely, you know, scale in and scale out today on TAOP. So right now, nothing else going on, guys. Right now, TAOP #1 watch for a possible red to green move. That's when the stock opens red, pulls back into a level of support, and we've identified yesterday's open being a okay level of support. We see volume move in, break over the open, nice big push. So right now we have our A wall, right? The pullback on decreased volume. Stock is still trying to hold that, you know, B wall, and right now we're not. So let's see if it bounces off 687. I'll average in off 687 and bring that cost basis down a little bit and look for a bigger move here. I still think TOP has a lot of potential today. UNH. So nice daily breakout here. Nice little daily breakout. At first, it looks like a little double top starting to form. We got some news this morning. Looking pretty good. New highs over here on UNH, looking like they're all-time highs as well. So this one has room to $400 today. Support at 380. UNH does have room up to $400. You just play this every $5. Every $5 is going to be some sort of resistance, but it does have room up to $4. Right now, support at $380. All right. Did you guys receive another email this morning? Was it one or two? Was it one email or was it two emails? They're going to be a little bit different coming on up. All right. So right now, I'm still holding small size TAOP, looking to see if it ever gets some hype towards it today. If it ever drops below 687, I'll walk away from it. INO trying to get the higher low off 975. Nice little break. Pulling back. Let's see if it can hold right here on this candle. If we can hold like that 970 area on INO, we could see this, definitely break over 10. Jeff 2. Okay, cool. So, yep, that was because I was adding people to different lists and cleaning up my email side of things. So when you guys were added to a list, it triggered an automation series. So it is going to be slightly different from what you see today moving forward. Our morning newsletter is posted about 8:30, 8:45 every single morning. You guys, that's where the email comes. The email might come at 8, 8:20, 8:30, but when you get the email, it's going to say Alpha Day Trading's posting their morning stock newsletter. It's actually going to bring you right on over into the blog page, right? So it's just a quick, easy link to get to your email so you always have access to our morning stock newsletters where I actually go through and I break down every single stock with news. You get the pre-market gappers, previous day's gainers, any setups that I'm looking at, anything that I'm trading, I will definitely break that down inside the newsletter as well. And so if you guys are on the go and you can't be in chat, if you cannot, have access to the stream to see the scanners, at least you'll get this to your email every single morning. So I'm long on INO. I'm risking 10 cents here. I'm looking for this to be a bounce for the break over 10. I like the nice breakout over 975, pulling back decreased volume. A little bit of this higher low. Stops are under 975 here on INO. Looking for a $10 breaker rake. All right, taking profit over at 10. Quick little $100 on INO. Stops are being brought up to break even at 981. Looking for a break over 10 here. And we get that break over 10, baby. Can we do it? And I'm out. Bow! There we go. Another $150. INO. Nice. I mean, guys, we talk about this all the time. Stock broke over that 975. That was resistance quite a few times. It was support. So once we broke over that 975 level, we saw increased volume, right? Got rejected off 10. Pulled back. Decreased volume. First higher low above that area of prior resistance, right? So break over resistance, pull back to resistance, new support, decreased volume, Nice volume pop right back up to 10. Nice little scalp opportunity there. That's exactly what we talked about this morning. So right there, INO locking in another couple $100, taking me up over $1,000 on the day. Feeling really good. Feeling really good. Yes, Jeff. So there is going to be one as well that is hit on your inbox at 7 a.m. So if you guys do come on over to Alpha Day Trading when we migrate back over and go live, that's, again, going to be an email at 7 o'clock letting you know I'm starting my live stream every single morning. It'll give you a link right to the login page, so you can go ahead and log in the chat and get started for the day. Now, if you don't like any of these emails, you can actually unsubscribe right at the top. So if you're like, dude, I don't want you sending me 2 emails. I'm going to bookmark your page. I'm going to bookmark the chat room. I don't need your emails, right? I don't need them. Stop. You can unsubscribe if you want. Will, what do I use to trade? Lightspeed. I use Lightspeed. TAOP. Bringing my cost basis down to 713. I'm going to put my stops at 685. 685 on 200 shares. And we're going to sell that on TAOP. So right now I got a hard stop in the system. 200 shares, 685 right underneath this low. If this is the bottom that starts to transition, at least I have 200 shares on the table. And let's see if TAOP gets any kind of hype today. Let's just see. You know, if I get stopped out, I'm risking $50. So nothing too crazy. Yes, you can. So you can actually go to Lightspeed, use referral code ALPHA when you sign up. All right, that's going to track everything. And then I believe you can actually do a minimum of $10,000 on a cash account by using my referral code ALPHA, ALPHA, all in caps. Also select Rob, right, as your go-to person. So when it says, you know, who helped you or whatever after you enter the code, select Rob Livingston and just set up a cash account. Let them know that Alpha referred you and that you can do a $10,000 cash account, because normally their minimum deposit requirement is $25,000. But with our promotion and our partnership with Lightspeed, we're actually able to offer you guys those cash accounts at $10K. So AMC getting some hype today. And I like AMC's daily chart, right? I like the gap up over the 13. I like how we came back down and retested the 975. So if we can break and hold 10, I mean, AMC can definitely see some nice action today, ladies and gentlemen. So if you like AMC, right now you can give it max, 30 cents of breathing room. If you think this is going to break out and continue the rip and run today, maybe a multi-day swing. We do not want to see it back below entry day low. So that's about 30 cents away. We break and hold over 10, we have a lot of room up to $11. So look at that. That's a 3-to-1 setup. If you like AMC and you think it could run today, tomorrow, we could definitely see a nice 3-to-1, possibly even 4-to-1 setup, as long as we hold up today's intraday low below that 975. Once again, A to the M to the C. And it missed it at GameStop. Not looking at GameStop. No, Lightspeed's charting system stinks. Lightspeed's charting system is not all that great. It's just, I want to click and grab it and move it and, do everything I want to do. And it's just weird, right? It's just weird. I'm not a huge fan of it at all. So, and plus it's just personal preference, right? I've used TD Ameritrade for 5 to 6 years. I've just gotten so used to it. All my studies are set up. I mean, I'm just comfortable. So yeah, I use TD for my charting, and then I'll use Lightspeed for my broker. I don't even use TD for options, guys. I don't even use TD for options. I don't use them as a broker. I just use them for my charting. Just personal preference. All right, there we go. Finally got the stop over on TAOP, which is good. So that one's not doing much, but really, guys, it's INO. INO has the hype right now. INO has the volume. INO looking to break $10, has room back up to 1088. Yes, absolutely, Wesley. I will go ahead and light speed you $10,000. No problem. ANY hitting that breakout scanner. What's up with ANY? Do we have news? No. This is getting some random volume. We have resistance up towards around 273. If we tag 273, I'm shorting this. ANY, do we have any shorts available? All right, we can locate. Let's see what we got on the locate. No, we can't short ANY. All right, never mind then. Never mind. VENAR, that was a stock moving this morning. This is a recent IPO, it looks like. Or a name change, one of the two. So we got VENAR, low float stock, lot of volume today. I mean, my goodness, lot of volume. This one's up 200%. Woo! Do we have supernova season around the corner, ladies and gentlemen? Are we shifting from boring market conditions to hot market conditions? Let's go. So right now we know we have $1 natural resistance. $1 is the toughest line for a small priced penny stock to get above. But if it ever breaks over $1, guys, it'll be fun. It'll be interesting. So let's see, we got a stock that's actually up 200% today. What have we been seeing the last couple weeks? 50%, 60%, 30%, like boring. Now we got a stock actually moving on up, so that's pretty nice. So right now, a little overextended, waiting to see a nice healthy couple candle pullback. Maybe get that next leg up to $1. I do like VENAR a lot. VENAR, a lot of potential. TAOP, I'm actually going to go ahead and take that off the watch list. It's been red all morning. INO, again, we're waiting for the break and hold over 10. And then, yeah, there you guys go. AMC. AMC currently up, what were we looking at it? Right around the 990s, saying risk, you know, about 20 cents, 30 cents on that play. Right now, you're up about a 1-to-1, 1020 on AMC. Now we want to see it hold above $10. If you guys grab that AMC trade, awesome job. Congratulations. You're locking in some nice profits. But I'm looking at VENAR. This one's moving really well. So let's go ahead and put a fib on this bad boy. Skirt. Let's put it right up there, and let's see if we get a respected fib retracement. Let's see if this fib is going to be respected. So right now, nice big move to the upside on increased volume. Right now, pulling back on decreased volume. So where are you going to level out? Where are you going to level out, VENAR? Are you going to just hold this nice little flag formation? Right? If we hold this flag formation and we do not drop back below 65 cents, we could get a nice pop up to 80, then to 90. Woo! My goodness. Let's see. Let's see if we get a better, healthier pullback here on VENAR. This one has some good potential. Oh! She got kapooied! Kapooey! Alright, we'll still keep this one on watch. Let's wait for it to level out. This one has some good potential. And look at what we got kind of forming right here on INO. All right, we got a nice little breakout pattern starting to form. So let's apply our lesson to this breakout, you know, that we're starting to see right here. Some traders would look at this as a little bit of a ascending triangle, right? We have flat top resistance, building higher lows. So let's assume you would have bought the breakout, right? You're not getting in right here. You're not getting in here. You're hesitant. You're like, all right, now we're starting to break out. So you're in at 10-12. Let's say you went ahead and got in at 10-12. Let's see what happens. Okay, you'd be doing pretty well right now. Oh, back down the break even. Oh, little up. Again, as a breakout trader, right? As a newer trader, guess what would happen to me? It'd be pushing. Oh, there's 10:05. I'm going to wait to see. Oh, it's going 10:06, 10:07. Oh, wow, this is actually breaking out. Boom, I'm in. By the time I'm in at like 10:10, 10:11, 10:12, right? I'm not getting in right at $10 as a new trader. I'm hesitant. Got some emotions. Is it really going to break out? Oh, shit, it's proven itself. Looks like it's going to break out. So I'm getting in late, right? I'm getting in 10 cents late. So right now, I would be up a whopping 8 pennies. Woo! Could it rip and run? Absolutely. But now what do we want to do, right? Okay, we missed the breakout. We don't trade the breakouts. What would we like to see? The stock to pull back to $10 on decreased volume, hold old resistance as new support, then get the next leg up, right? So I know coming into it, okay, I'd like to buy around 10 to 10.02 if we get the pullback. And right now, I know if I can get that entry off the pullback and we get the next leg up, my target would be whatever the breakout high is. So right now, we would have about a 25-cent target if the stock does pull back. So let's see if that actually happens. So instead of getting in at 10.10 and taking profit at 10.20, right, we can get in at $10 if it pulls back, and we would have a target right now of these highs of 10.25. So you're making about an extra 20 to 25 cents. The risk is a little bit more predefined, right? You're able to sit here and plan your trade, assess your size, assess your risk, get into the right mindset to where you can take these trades without hesitation. So the fibs are being respected on VENAR, so I do like that. Hold right back to the 61.8, back above the 50. Had a nice red candle hold that. The 9, the VWAP. So this one here looking pretty good over on VENAR. Red to green move on El Facebook. Nice daily setup too, guys. I mean, all day. Look at how this candle closed beautifully right at our 13 SMA. The stock gapped up overnight, pulled back, and hit 304.40. Damn near to the penny, right? Came down and held that area, and now we're getting a nice bounce simply off the 13 SMA over on Facebook. This one's going to have some resistance up towards yesterday's highs. So we got about 308 on Facebook before we see the pullback. All right, you can get as high as 308 before we start to see a little bit of a healthy pullback on Facebook. The pullback we would want to see take place around 306.42, and then possibly get that break and continuation today over on Facebook. Facebook has a little bit of this gap to fill up to 309.34. So if we can break over yesterday's highs, we could definitely see a nice dollar move over on Facebook. AI is setting up really nice here. We got our nice break, healthy volume, pulling back right into the 50% fib, respecting that 9 EMA. This one could definitely get a break over 72 up to 73. AI has a lot of great potential today, ladies and gentlemen. So right now, if you liked the trade and you wanted to try and take it long, just have to assess your risk, and you wouldn't really want to see this below $70.30. Right? We've already pulled back. That should be our pullback low, right? If it comes down to double bottoms, we still do not want to see it close below $70.32. We got VENAU hitting that breakout scanner as well. Look at this random pump. No point in looking at that. KXIN, we're taking that off the watch list. Nothing going on there. Waiting for INO to pull back. So right now we're just sitting back on our hands on INO, waiting for a nice healthy pullback down the 10, possibly see it round on out, get the next leg up. VENAR. This one has room up to $1, but we're right at 80-cent resistance from the previous high. So let's see if it either breaks and holds, or if we get a second attempt, a rejection with a nice pullback to form some kind of maybe cup and handle, ascending triangle, some kind of better breakout pattern here on VENAR. But this one has a lot of great potential today, guys. AMC got that nice pop up to 1023, but right now, what kind of pattern are we starting to see, guys, on AMC? What kind of pattern are we starting to see here? I'm waiting. All right, so it's a head and shoulders pattern, guys. We're starting to see a little bit of this head and shoulders over on AMC. Yep, Jared nailed it. Yep, a little bit of head and shoulders, right? I mean, almost a textbook perfect head and shoulders pattern. So right now, it is trying to push back above 10, a little bit of increased volume, right? So if it does drop back below 10 and we start to see that round, and you guys were in at 990, put your stops at break even. All right, if you guys got in off that alert at 990 right here, you didn't take profit for any reason, and we start to see this round and come back down, go ahead and stop out at break even, because the likelihood of this cracking is very high off this bearish chart pattern, once again being a little bit of a head and shoulders. So right now, would I be touching it? No. If you are in, you're still good. It could defy this pattern and it could continue the run, right? But would I be buying it now? No. But if you're already in around the low 990s, then yeah, you're sitting good. And I would go ahead and bring those stops to break even. Just because if we start curling back down, you'll most likely see it crack 990, and you don't really want to put yourself in a position where you lose money, especially when you can identify what we're seeing and, maybe get out early. So with that being said, AMC, as long as it stays above $10 and it doesn't start to round here, it's still good to the upside, but it could very well form that head and shoulders pattern. I would say, hey, we got room to $1 on VENAR, but on this push here over the last couple candles, we're losing a lot of buyers. So we may see a little bit of a pullback, just because I'm seeing that indication from, we're seeing a little weakness from the buyers. But again, we could see that easily transition. So again, I would not be touching it over 80. I'd be waiting. So again, we got this decent little uptrend here on INO. You can connect these lows, run it on up, just like that. We got VWAP around 10. We got previous resistance around 10. We have our uptrend around 10. So we've identified 3 separate reasons that $10 could be a nice pullback before we get the next leg up. So now you can sit here and say, okay, $10, I want to buy. I'm going to put my stops at let's say 985. So I'm risking 15 cents. And I can get 30 cents out of the trade. So right there, you have at least a 2-to-1, right? 15 cents of risk, 30 cents of profit. At least you can get a 2-to-1 setup here, right? Could it blow past the 1030 and run the 1050? Absolutely. But at least looking at it from that perspective is you could at least see a 2-to-1 if you get your $10 entry, right? And we do get that nice pop off the trend line. So even though it looks like it's pushing right now, again, I'm not touching it. We only have one reason to take this trade. What is it? It's bouncing off the 9 EMA. Right? It's not valid enough for me. So could it break? Absolutely. But is it the best of the best setup? No. No. So if it does rip and run, coulda, shoulda, woulda. We'll watch it run and we'll wait for a better opportunity on it. We'll wait for another setup because it will provide one. So VENAR right up to $1, guys. If this breaks over $1 today, watch for a lot of hype, right? We got a stock up 300% VENAR. If this breaks over $1, and it holds, oh my goodness. This thing could actually get some great traction today. Yeah, I don't know why KXI is still on there. I thought we've taken that off. What's up with the coin? The coin! Coin's got this little downtrend right here. with some support down off the lows at 332-ish. All right. So, head and shoulders on AMC. So we saw that coming ahead of time. We already knew that if we started to see it round and you were in off the 990s, go ahead and get out because, again, we saw the head and shoulders. Starting to see that play effect here. So we were all up to date, good to go. VENAR. I do like the pullback off the 9, previous high, 80 cents. I want to give this a go here. I mean, if it dumps 10 cents on 1,000 shares, that would be $100 loss. I have room to make 200 on the play. I'd be okay with risking $100 on the play. I'd be okay with risking about $100 here to see if we get this nice pullback push to the upside. I'm gonna wait for this candle to close out here. All right, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give this a go. I think VENAR has a lot of good potential, and if we break over a dollar, my goodness, this will be fun. This will be interesting. All right, buyers. You like the market, you want to get something going, you want to make some money. Let's get it going today. VENAR. Let's see if we break over 100. I'm definitely looking to take profit up. All right, I said 100. A dollar. Definitely looking to take profit up towards around that dollar mark because I'm smart. But if we break, I want to leave some size on the table here. Right now, I have enough breathing room on this play to go ahead and stop at break even. So I just took profit, got filled on a limit at 99. 500 shares left. Stops are at break even. All right, so stop right now, 500 shares, 0.85 is my entry. Boom, in the system. Let's see if it holds and breaks. If it does, I got a runner. If not, I locked in a quick $50, $80. I'm cool with that, right? I'm cool with these small little base hits. So I do have a stop in the system at 85 cents on my last 500 shares. Looking to see if we break a dollar here. If we break a dollar, this thing could go bananas. Bananas! So right to a dollar here. Let's see if buyers are strong enough to really get this thing going. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. I think I'm going to get stopped out, but might as well leave a runner on the table, right? Might as well have some fun and see if it does break out for some crazy reason. All right, you guys have any questions? A little quiet today, guys. A little quiet. What's up? Do we have any questions? right, are we gonna get that dollar break? Are we gonna get that dollar break? Let's go. You can do it, VENAR. I know you can. And while we wait on VENAR, this is a good example on INO, right? So why did I not take the trade? I was watching it off to the right. What was one reason that I did not take the trade off 10, right? We were saying 10 bucks, 10 bucks, 10 bucks, right? We didn't have a decreasing volume pullback, guys. Look, we actually saw selling volume increase into that level of support. Remember our volume lesson? When we see volume increase to the downside into a level of support, it decreases our odds of getting a bounce, right? It wasn't a healthy decreasing volume pullback. So why did I not take the trade? Because the volume was increasing. So that right there is why volume's a really good criteria for these pullbacks. As we were really been talking about breakouts and pullbacks today. That was why we didn't take that trade off 10, because that volume was increasing. All right, so I was able to lock in 70 bucks on VENAR. I was able to lock in a small little 70 bucks there. Not too shabby. All right, so this is in conjunction with our little lesson we did this morning on the breakouts, right? Why did I not trade the pullback on INO? The biggest reason that I did not trade the pullback that we were just talking about, the uptrend, VWAP, prior resistance is new support, right? Because I use volume, a part of my criteria. So how come, even though we said we have 3 separate reasons to take a trade, it was pulling back, why did I not take that trade off 10? Because volume did not meet the criteria for a healthy pullback. What did we see along this pullback? We saw the volume increase. That shows me that sellers are building strength along the way down. We're not depleting the sellers, we're actually gaining sellers, right? So that actually decreases our odds of that actually bouncing. It's right about 50-50, right? Could it bounce? Yes. Could it crack? Yes. The likelihood of it cracking is honestly higher because we have more sellers moving in along the way down. They're not being depleted. They're increasing. So if that was a decreasing volume pullback and we could see those sellers depleted into that $10, we would have a possibility to get a better transition from sellers to buyers off that level of support. So again, I know we said that was a good setup, but again, that's why we use volume as far as criteria for a lot of our setups, because that right there was a sign not to take the trade. So VENAR is getting a little risky up here. Right now, INO, not looking all that great. AI, not looking all that great. AMC had that beautiful head and shoulders. Coin, oh, what are you doing? The market was looking pretty good and now it's looking pretty bad, isn't it? Ha! Right now, at least I got in early and I started making a couple bucks. So hopefully you guys have found some setups with me where you've been able to make a couple dollars. With that being said, the one that I think still has some of the best potential is going to be VENAR. I do see we have some other stocks hitting some scanners, right? We have WAFU, WAFU. WAFU. We got WAFU moving on up. What do we got going on here? I do not see any news. What do I see? Pump and dump. Woo! Pump and dump. 1 million in float stock. Not trading any volume. And then out of nowhere, 42,000 shares, 93, 185, 356, right? Someone gets this going with an order. Inexperienced traders, oh, it's gonna break out. Oh, let's push it all the way up to 1089. What did we do? We see that it out of nowhere has volume. Okay, so why do we have activity? Why do we have volume now? Is there news? Nope. Is there a daily technical setup? Not really. So, typical pump and dump. What do we expect this to do? Probably dump all the way back down towards around $9. That's what I would expect, right? So would I be taking WAFU as a trade? No, because we don't have any reason for it to be moving up, and we can see that it's more likely to be a little bit of a pump and dump because that was really random pop and volume. Out of nowhere, 90,000 shares. that hit some scanners. Traders got in, started to get it going, but now watch for a lot of profit taking. CLUE is actually on our breakout scanner. CLEU, my bad. This one, no news. 2 million in float, trading 1.2 million shares. It's trading 5 times its average daily volume. It looks like it's just getting a little bounce. Again, out of nowhere, get some volume, starting to creep on up. No catalyst driving this, so I'm not a fan. Let's go ahead and readjust some of our technicals here on VENAR. We saw the fib the first time was respected. Let's take another fib off this move. We can see here that a proper 50% retracement is right where we're at right now. Right, so let's see if this is a 50%. We could definitely pull back to 70, even down into the 65. So let's see if this fib level is now going to be respected over on VENAR. Yeah, that's probably the only setup that we have right now that has some kind of potential is going to be VENAR, guys. As we wait for VENAR to kind of, set itself up, let's just take a look at some possible option plays on the day. I know we were talking about Facebook earlier. Facebook having that resistance around that 308, starting to see it pull back. Looks like we're trying to establish support right around the 305.75. And we have the downtrend. So if we break the downtrend, guys, watch for a retest of that previous high of 307.72. Right? We can see a $1.50 move out of this play if we put in a higher low. And I'll show you exactly. This is what we would want to see for a proper break. We got the break. Boop, hit highs. Stock is now in a downtrend, pulling back. We got 1 touch, we got 2, we got 3. What we want to see is third touch, put in a higher low. In this case, that would be great. Superb, beautiful to put in a higher low above our VWAP, gray line, and 306. If we would get that little bit of a higher low into the 4th touch, we could definitely see this stock retest those previous highs. Where would you put your stops? You'd put it underneath the following low. So entries off a higher low for the break of the downtrend. If for some reason it does not break out, right, and it comes down, your stop is nice and tight, right? Your stop is right underneath that previous low. If you get that breakout, you do have room to retest those highs. So we could sit here and say, okay, let's sit back and wait to see if we get it. We're starting to kind of see it. We want to wait until we actually see some volume and pressure into the downtrend. Right, so let's assume you'd be making entries at 306.22, right? That's when you get confirmation. Where would your stops be? So if you're getting filled right here, let's say 306.30, your stops would be about 71 cents away, and your target would be the previous high of 140. So that's a 2-to-1 setup all day. Risking 50, 60, 70 cents underneath the low. You got a first target about 2-to-1 away. So right there, boom, you got yourself a nice little 2-to-1 setup. Now you go look at the options, right? Now you go in and look at an option. Okay, cool. So I'm going to buy a 310 call with a 30 delta. So that means if I lose $1 a share, I'm going to lose about $30 a contract. So I'll invest $100. I'll lose 30 if I get stopped out. But if I hit target, I should make around $60. That's 60%, right? That's 60% that you could potentially make here. So that's how you kind of go in and assess. So what did we just see? Oh my goodness. What a beautiful setup. Higher low off 306, off VWAP. What did we say? Boom. Looking to make entries through the push. You know where your stops are at, and you're looking for a retest of those previous highs. How beautiful was that, guys? Right? We see a setup here. All right, and this is why, I want to stress this, and this is why, I want you guys to really dive in and educate and study and learn and backtest because, stock trading is predictable. It can be. When the stock was right here, we said, hey, let's wait for the higher low pullback. We talked about what we wanted to see. Before it even happened, it worked out beautifully, right? So stock trading is predictable. And that's just what I wanted to share with you guys, that we knew what we wanted to see for this type of setup, right? The criteria that needed to be met, the higher low into VWAP, into the 306, seeing volume move in through the break. We know our target, we know our stop. So overall, guys, that's what I love about stock trading, is it is predictable. And we saw that play out real time. And you guys are hitting target right now, right? You guys are hitting target within 3 minutes. If you would have been able to jump in on those calls, right, at 60, or I'm sorry, they were at $1.10. They were at $1.10, right? You're up $50 a contract right now. So you can invest at $110 and you would be pulling out $40 of profit. That's 40%. That's beautiful, guys. So soak all that up, take it all in, take some notes, make sure you remember what we talk about, right? I know it's a lot of information, so always take notes and whatnot. Come back and rewatch the videos, the live streams. But if you guys were able to grab that as we were discussing it before it even happened, good job. You guys would be locking in about $1.40 per share. You had a great 2-to-1 setup there on Facebook. I'm actually going to step away for about 2 minutes. I will be right back with you guys. All right, I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. So what do we got? VENAR. It's looking weak. But last time, we did pull back into that lower level on the fib. So we'll just have to keep this one on watch right now and see if it's going to be respected. But right now, it seems like things are really starting to slow down. Right, seems like things are just really starting to fade and slow on down. We're not seeing any action on COIN, GameStop, AMC, INO, right? We're not really seeing too much happen now. The only thing that we really have that looks still really decent is Facebook. We had a downtrend break off the higher low. Very predictable. We're starting to look like we may get a cup and handle breakout, right? We have our big U shape, trying to put a little handle in above the 9 EMA. If this breaks over 307.80, we do have room to that 309, guys. We go back and look at those contracts that we were talking about, right? They were 110. They're still up about 40 cents a contract. Imagine buying 10 contracts, right, at 110. You would have invested $1,100. Let's say you sold those at your target, right? You would have made $400, right? You invested $1,100. You could have made $400 on that Facebook trade on options. 40% return in 1, 2, 3 minutes. Now imagine taking profit and leaving a little bit on the table as a runner. Let's say you sold 5 contracts, you locked in $200 on that move. Let's see what they do on this breakout. All right, if this breaks out here, let's see if those appreciate substantially in value. Go look at like Disney, anything? No. Snapchat? No. Wait, hold on. Snapchat? No. Boing! Nope. Microsoft. I wouldn't be touching it at the highs. We could easily see it double top. I wouldn't be touching it on Microsoft, personally. Tesla getting a pullback after the break. This is a good pullback on Tesla. This is healthy, right? We had our nice break over the 50-day. We're getting a couple-day pullback on Tesla, decreasing volume so far. We have earnings coming up, 4/26. So next, not next Monday, but the Monday after, we'll have earnings. So guys, we'll definitely, most likely, I can't say definitely, positively, but we'll probably see some anticipation into earnings, right? So here, look at all this buying into earnings, right, on Tesla. On Tesla, we have earnings. Look at some of this, little buying activity, right? Here's some more earnings. Look at some of that buying activity. I assume we have fundamentals coming up on Tesla, right? We have some fundamentals. We have earnings. Traders like to buy in anticipation of earnings. They like to buy up into earnings because stocks typically do move up nice into earnings. And we have a nice technical setup, a nice break, nice healthy pullback right into this previous level of daily resistance at 714.70. So if we get a pullback today into that level, maybe even tomorrow, and we can hold Tesla at 714, I'll probably look to add some of this to my long-term portfolio. Absolutely. I'd even say 709, 710, right? If we pull back to that level today, I'll definitely start buying a little bit. I'll be looking for a nice multi-day trade, maybe into next week. See if we get the next leg up over $800 before earnings. Absolutely. I think that's a good setup here. It looks really, really good, and we have some fundamentals as well. So definitely keep Tesla on high watch over the next week, week and a half. So those contracts on Facebook, they're still hovering around 150. So again, this is where I want to really break this down, all right? A lot of people say buying the week of expiration calls and puts for options are risky, right? We have 1 day until expiration. So if you buy this right now on Facebook and you run it to tomorrow and it expires, right, lower than the cut, it's going to expire worthless, right? Because the theta, right, it's going to expire worthless tomorrow. You have 1 day until expiration. A lot of people say like, oh my goodness, it's so risky to trade these. The theta is so high. But again, when we're day trading, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes, 10, 20-minute trade, we can see the theta, even though it's so high, doesn't make that much of an impact when we spot our entries and we possibly day trade these close to expiration calls and puts. So again, they're very rewarding, right? Especially when you're on the right side of the trade like this, even though the theta is high, because the theta is not really making that much of an impact in that 10 to 15-minute window. So that's personally why whenever I trade options, I do like trading closest to expiration. They're less expensive. The deltas are still nice, right? When the move happens, they appreciate much faster in value compared to the longer term ones. Again, compared to your investment. Look at this one here. If you want to buy a 310 call, you're paying $1.50. You come out to next Friday, the 310, you're paying substantially more. You're paying $475. You're paying $300 more for the contract, right? And you're going to make roughly the same amount of money, right? So why would you want to day trade this one, pay $400, $500, make 10% when you can come up here and you can spend $150 and make 30%, 40%, right? Oh, that just makes sense to me. But again, if you're on the wrong side of the trade on these close to expiration contracts, they will depreciate and devalue very, very quick. So that's why you have to be really, really good about managing your risk. Because if you're on the wrong side of a trade and it's very close to expiration, you will see them get hit hard. But if you're on the right side, you can make a lot of money very quickly. Neither. Yeah, I don't do light speed for options. I don't do TOS. I actually use E-Trade. I use E-Trade for options, and I'm starting to not become a huge fan of E-Trade. I'm honestly thinking about coming back over to TD for options, because one cool thing you can do, and I really, really like this. Let's switch this to green. All right, let's switch this to green. Let's go in here to Facebook, and I'll show you why I like TD for options. So let's say, you know, this is the chain that I want to be buying, the 310, right? I can right click this. I can come down and send this to my green box. And what it's going to do is it's going to actually put the option contract here. And I can actually buy and sell with this ladder, which is super cool. I can see all the overhead asks. I can see all of the bids underneath. I can see the volume per price, right? I can sit here and buy and sell my contracts. I can easily put limit orders in, cancel them, right? I can use the ladder for my options trading. So see, I have Facebook here. I'm watching the chart on Facebook, but this is that options contract. This is the 310 options contract at $1.38 a piece, right? $1.3638 a piece. So I can't do this on E-Trade. All right, I can't do this on Lightspeed. You can do it on TD Ameritrade, and this makes options trading very, very easy. Very nice, very easy, right? You can see your chart, and you can sit here and buy and sell right here in this window on the active trader ladder. So I like that concept of TD. So that's why I'm thinking about switching back over to TD for my options trading. So right now, there's not a lot going on in the market. There was some definite good opportunity early this morning. Right now, we're starting to see things really just taper on off and really start to fade. So right now, I don't see too much that I want to get involved with. If you guys have any tickers on your radar, anything that you see that looks good, and you want to get a second opinion, please type that ticker, and we will definitely review it, as I want to keep nothing but value. Right? I want to do nothing but value while we're here, even when the market's slow. So you guys have any topics you want to talk about, any tickers that you want me to review, today is a great day to do that. So far, we've done a couple really good lessons, right? We talked about why I don't prefer buying breakouts, how to trade the pullback, criteria behind those pullbacks as well, and volume being a very key piece of criteria that needs to be met to really increase our odds of being right on particular trades, right? We had a nice little lesson on Facebook as the trade's setting up, what we could expect, what we would want to see in order to jump into that trade, and it worked out beautifully. So now you guys know the criteria behind trading the downtrend, right? You actually got to get that higher low and then a nice pop in volume through the downtrend, right? And that's a great 70-30, 80-20 setup. So a lot of value already dropped today. I'm sure you guys are learning a lot, but if there's any other topics, I definitely want to hit those on the head as well. DBDB, what up? ILMN. ILMN. Intraday, no. Long term, possibly. Right? If you have any strong fundamentals behind this, right? If you have done your research and your due diligence and you believe in this company, has strong fundamentals, a strong balance sheet, right? And they have growth potential, and you're looking at it for a swing trade / investment, we can apply some daily technicals on top of that. The technicals here on the daily do not look all that bad. They don't look bad at all. What kind of pattern are we starting to see kind of form on ILMN on the daily chart? I want to see if one of you guys can nail this, right? We've talked about this a lot. What kind of pattern are we starting to see form on ILMN on the daily chart? Whoever guesses it correctly, free chat. There we go. I'm gonna incentivize you. No, Wesley got it! Woohoo! Get a free week of chat, dude, on me. So whenever we go live, I'll hook you up. Right when I said, free week of chat, whoever guesses it, boom, Wesley's like right in there. Bow, baby. I'll hook you up, Wesley. I got you taken care of. Yes, so Wesley nailed it. Inverse Head and Shoulders. It seems like Wesley's either A, been in the market for a while and he knows what he's doing, or B, he loves the course. Hey, so Wesley nailed it. This is a inverse Head and Shoulders setup. Okay, guys? So we know what a Head and Shoulders is, right? We know a Head and Shoulders. Right, we got our neckline, we got our left shoulder, we got our head, we got our right shoulder, and we got a neckline. This is a bearish chart pattern. When the stock cracks the neckline, usually considered to be bearish, and we see the stock pull back. Okay? So what do we have on ILM to the N? Let's go ahead and delete some of this out real quick. We have the opposite of a Head and Shoulders. We have this bounce. We can consider this to be the left shoulder. We got a lower low with a bounce. That's going to be considered the head. Look at where this head took place. It bounced off the 200-day moving average. All right, so we have a reason for that to be an area to bounce. We also have prior support, prior resistance, right? So that's a great bounce area, right? Get a nice push up to that 50-day moving average. Stock is now pulling back. We could look at this as being the right shoulder, right? The other beautiful thing, this pullback is occurring above that 13 SMA, right? We have that 13 SMA. So we have a neckline right now, right? We can say that we have a little bit of this neckline and we have a shoulder, head, right shoulder starting to form. Our neckline and that 50-day moving average right there is going to be resistance. So if we put this proper U-shape in, this right shoulder, and we break the neckline, and we break that 50-day moving average, right? We could see this squeeze, right? Head and Shoulders is bearish. Inverse Head and Shoulders is bullish. So again, on ILMN, if we can see this set up and we can apply some fundamentals on top of it, it only increases your odds that this could be a good swing trade or a long-term investment. You have earnings coming up next month. All right, so we do have earnings coming on up. Earnings are actually going to be this month, 4/27. So you're looking at about 5, 6, 7 trading days until earnings. Now, if earnings are good, that could actually create this pattern to set up, right? So again, if we have this curl and we have that inverse Head and Shoulders and earnings are good, right? You could see this move up and gap up off earnings. But again, trading through earnings is risky. However, if you're swing trading this, and this is a long-term investment, right? And even if earnings are bad, you still want to own this company because you've done your fundamental analysis, your fundamental research, and you're okay with holding through earnings. Right? Apply these technicals on top of possible good earnings with those fundamentals. You've just found yourself a great investment. A great investment, ILMN. You got technicals, you got fundamentals, you got earnings coming up. That could actually give us good earnings to actually get this technical setup going. So good stuff. Mike's like, I told Wes that answer. So yeah, I actually wouldn't be shorting this. If anything, I would want to go long on ILMN. I would want to go long, right? We got this beautiful higher low bounce, looking like a little bit of an inverse Head and Shoulders. It's holding this 13 SMA as support. One thing that we could honestly see as well is for this to set up in a little bit of a moving average squeeze. We have a lesson on this in the course, right? So it's where we have the stock finally getting back above the 13 SMA, which we are. We can visually see that. And then we have it trading in between that 50 SMA, right? So if we see something like this start to form, let me go ahead and switch this, and we see the stock, again, kind of, no, that's not going to work. I don't know why I grabbed black. That was weird. I'm going to grab white. White. Right, so again, we see the stock kind of trading in between these levels, and it gets really tight, right? We could start to see this stock squeeze between support and resistance and get a nice 13 50-day break, right? That's a 13 SMA, that's a 50 SMA. If this consolidates and gets really, really tight, and these moving averages get closer and closer and closer together, we could definitely see this stock squeeze and possibly break to the upside, and that would bring the 13 SMA back over the 50 SMA, And that would be a good signal for a possible reversal. Imagine we saw something like that. We got the squeeze, 13 SMAs moving on up, stocks moving, and then we start to see that, 50 transition back up as well. We could see something just like that play on out. So again, inverse head and shoulders, a little bit of a 13-day, 50-day squeeze. We have earnings coming up. We could have good earnings if the fundamentals are strong. I'm sorry, I got tongue twisted. If the fundamentals are strong on this company, right? And it meets the criteria for you to actually invest in something like this, then oh my goodness, what a great setup. So whoever brought ILMN to my attention, I appreciate you. That's a really nice setup we have here. So I may actually be looking at investing in this myself. I'm going to do some research on this company to see if it's something that I want to add to my portfolio, because we do have some nice room to the upside, right? We have some fantastic room to the upside. If we just look historically, right? Good earnings, big move. We had good earnings, it dropped. We had earnings here, good earnings, it dropped. We had earnings right here, it didn't do nothing. We had earnings here, good, dropped. Earnings good here, dropped. Earnings here, didn't do anything. So again, it's not like every time we have good earnings, we see it gap and go, gap and go, gap and go. For the most part, we see that it actually gaps down quite a bit. Earnings have been positive. Earnings have been positive for quite some time, but we've actually seen negative reactions off of earnings. But overall, it's still doing really, really well, right? It took a hit because of COVID. It bounced back even stronger. So this company looks great technically, and I'm going to do some research fundamentally on it. VENAR getting destroyed. I'm actually going to take this one for a bounce off 50 cents, right underneath this low here. We are getting a lot of pressure to the downside. I would expect to see a possible little bounce on VENAR. The big pick of that famous trader, the one that predicted the housing crisis, Michael Burry? Or Jordan Belfort, Wolf of Wall Street? I'm probably thinking Michael Burry. The really famous trader. Yeah, the one that predicted the market crisis, the housing crisis. I mean, if that dude has his name behind this, let's go. Oh, no? Okay. Illumina Inc. Let's just go look at this real quick. Illumina Inc. ILMN. Again, I'm not a big fundamental guy, so I don't know if this is really going to do any help, but let's look at their profile. What sector are they in? They're in healthcare. All right, so growing sector, great sector, diagnostic and research. Let's look at their financials and see what their balance sheet looks like. Right, so their total revenue on their last report of 12/31/20, total revenue was 3.2 million shares. Cost of revenue was 1 million, so their gross profit that quarter was 2 million. Operating expenses are 1.6 mil. Operating income is 580. So their net income from continuing operations, 600,000. Balance sheet. So their balance sheet as of last quarter, total assets, 7.5 million. Total liabilities, total equity, gross interest, total capitalization. I mean, looking at the balance sheet, they have money on the table, right? They have $7.5 million in assets. Their liabilities are 3. So they're sitting really nice as far as their balance sheet with assets in regards to liabilities. They have more assets than liabilities. That's good, right? They have 3.2 million of working capital. They have 5.8 invested. Total debt 1.9, but they have more assets than liabilities. So in reality, they're not really in debt, right? They have some debt, but they have a lot of assets and they have some money on the sheet. So overall, looking at their income statement, they seem to be very profitable. They have money on the books. They have some assets. Yeah, guys. I mean, just looking at this real quick, healthcare sector, good sector. They have money on the table. They have assets. They're making money. Earnings have been good consistently. We have some technicals. My goodness, I just sold myself on why I'm probably going to be picking up some ILMN for some long-term investment. Woo! There we go. That was fun. That was so fun. All right, guys. So, ILMN, not too bad. And we also have shares short on this play. I just want to, bring that to your attention. I'm still looking at ILMN. Shares short as of March 31st. Shares short were 3 million. The float is 145, so it's not a lot, but you still have, 3 million shares short over on ILMN. Total cash. Oh, here we go. Balance sheet. Total cash, 3.47 billion. Total debt, 1.9 billion. So they still have like $1.5 billion of total cash on their balance sheet. Overall, yeah, I mean, not bad. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but I'm just using some common sense and reviewing some of this stuff, and yeah, it doesn't look bad at all. So, Wesley, where's the next play out on INO if there is one? I don't see anything right now. I mean, just look at how nasty this is. Really just fading. I don't really expect to see a big play coming up right now. All right, now if you're looking for a possible short, I would just wait for a retracement. Possibly back up into the 960 level, 960 to 966 if it pops up and continues to get rejected. But right now, overall, it doesn't look really all that great. You may see a small bounce here off of this lower shadow from pre-market, right around 937. We can see that we're starting to see a little bit of, buyers moving off that level for a possible bounce. But again, you're looking at maybe 10 to 20 cents a reward, either long or short. So overall, it's not a super good opportunity. But again, I would be playing it short because the trend is currently short. And as long as it continues the downtrend, you'd be safer shorting a play like INO. We come down and look at yesterday's spiking high. We could see a bigger and better bounce around 920, as that's yesterday's spiking high. So as far as falling, we have more room down to 920 before we maybe see a reversal on INO. But overall, it's not super nice. I don't really like anything as far as getting involved with it, so I'll be personally sitting on the sidelines on this one. Right now, the way it sits, I would say that if this was 4 o'clock in the market and we closed just like this, I would not expect to see anything. I mean, I wouldn't expect to see anything happen on INO. If we close really, really nasty red like this on a lot of selling volume, I wouldn't expect to see it transition overnight and for a gap up unless there was another catalyst that got this thing going. All right. But right now, it's way too early as far as could this gap up or do you think it'll gap down? We got to wait closer till the end of the day. All right, so Facebook ended up breaking out, got that nice pop right up into the 309s. Let's look. I just want to see what those contracts are worth now. So right now, those contracts are worth 150. right? At this peak, guarantee those contracts were worth about $2. That had been 100% return. From here to here, you could have made 100% return on your money. Facebook does have room to that 309.34. Tesla, again, we're going to be keeping this on watch over the next few days. Wesley, when do you use the downtrend theory of trading? I'm not sure I understand. When do you use the downtrend? So like the strategy, like when do I use a downtrend strategy? Whenever we meet the criteria, like whenever we had Facebook, for example, I could see here that we had a clear downtrend off this high, the high, the high, the high, right? And I'm just waiting for it to tag 3 to 4 times off lower lows. So we get the start, we tag it. We get a lower low, we tag it. We get a lower low, we tag it. Lower low, we tag it. We start to see the higher low form off a level of support. In this case, 306. Also the VWAP. We see volume move into the 4th touch, right? I'm not trading it for a break on the 2nd touch. I'm not trading it for a break on the 3rd touch, right? I'm waiting for the 4th touch. The odds increase when we have a higher low into a 4th touch of a downtrend. The odds are about 80-20 that we see a breakout, especially when followed by volume. So right here we have 1, 2, 3 touches, followed by a higher low into the 4th touch on increased volume. That was some great indication to go ahead and take that long for a break of the downtrend. WHLM halted up. WHLM halted to the upside. All right. Okay. WHLM. Where you going, baby? You ride up into that spiking high here, 1285. If you break over 1285 WHLM, where you going? You going up to 14. So currently halted. Good eye. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. So right now, if we gap up over 1291 and we get our little pullback, we could see the halt strategy play on out for a pop up to 14. So you got about $1 of reward here if we get that gap, pullback, and then the push. WHLM was halted at 1045.55, so we're looking at 1050.55. So you got about 2 minutes, 3 minutes to go here on WHLM. Let's see if we get a possible little halt strategy play itself out. Yeah, you just have that slight resistance off yesterday's open of Apple. So yesterday's open, 135, big U shape. If we throw this on like a higher time frame on Apple, we have just one big, oh, where are we going? Where are we going? There we go. One big U shape, right? So tagged it yesterday in pre-market, 135.30, tagging it again today. Having a hard time. Now, if it breaks over 135.30, yeah, where's your next target on Apple? Let's look at that daily chart. Let's try and mark up some solid resistance. I would say we would have room up to that 137.50 first, right? First target, 137.50, and then up into the 138.70s. But what I would like to see is a proper third touch breakout. So maybe get another pullback, right, level off, and then get some momentum into a break over 135, room up to 137.50 over on Apple. So we'll definitely be keeping this one on watch. Where could it pull back? We'll take a fib off this move. Just run a fib off that move, and let's see if it holds the 38.2 or the 50 for that nice pullback. It would be really nice if we pulled back right to 133. I would even put it a little bit lower. I would put it right there. Why would I put it at 133? Well, we have some resistance at 133. We broke over 133 Tuesday. Where was our pullback level? Our pullback level was into that 133 high. So we have resistance, we have support. We had a little bit of a bounce here. It tried to bounce. And that's also, if we actually run the fib off that entire move, that's also the 61.8 fib, right? Right around the 61.8 fib. So if Apple, for some reason, were to continue to sell off and all the way down to 133 and level, I'd be a buyer for a swing trade for that big U-shaped break over 135 up to 137. It's way too early to tell if that's going to happen, but that would be the best of the best setup, would be to get a proper pullback to retest 133, which is only $1.50 away, right? So it's not so bad. So let's keep Apple on watch to see if we get that set up. So WHLM, no gap up out of the halt. This is 50-50. It could break, run the 14. It could dump down to 11 and halt to the downside. I can't touch it. I can't touch it. I'll just watch it run. I'm gonna watch it run. Boop, 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 boop. Matt, why fake bids in the level 2 sometimes? We call those spoof orders. S-P-O-O-F. Spoof order. So it's typically when someone has an interest in a stock not going past a certain level of support or past a certain level of resistance. So let's say, you know, trying to give a good example. So if I was short on WHLM, if I was short at 1285, okay, and I'm short and I'm in the green and I see it creeping back up, I could put what's called a spoof order in the system. I could spoof traders, right? So maybe I don't want the stock to break over 13, right? Because I'm short at 1285. I don't want the stock to break over 13 and I got a lot of money, right? I can spoof the system and I can say, I want to sell. I want to put a huge sell order at 13. So at the level 2, you'll look at it and you'll be like, oh shit, there's 100,000 shares looking to be sold at 13. From a trader mindset, me and you, what do we think? That's going to be tough to get through. So we don't buy. We start selling and taking profits, right? So that trader could put in what's called a spoof order to try to, in a sense, manipulate the price to keep it in the direction they want to keep it in, right? So again, if they were short at 1285, they could spoof a system at 13. They could throw spoof orders, right? They have no intention on getting filled. That's why you see it there now, right? They submit it, they cancel it. They submit it, they cancel it. They submit it, they cancel it. So they're not getting filled. They're just spoofing the level 2 to make us traders think that that's going to be a tough level to get through. Let's not buy the break of 13. If we're long, let's go ahead and take profit, which overall helps bring the stock down in their favor. So that's why you do see sometimes a lot of spoofing, is what we call it, spoof orders, or fake bids and fake asks on the level 2. No, I don't use the FinViz screener. I mean, I use it every now and then to find sectors, right? So like, let's say the EV sector's hot. I can narrow down all of the stocks based on criteria that I want to be met in that EV sector, and it displays the list for me. That's the only time that I actually use FinViz, because I don't need FinViz. I have trade ideas. But anytime I need to find a sector play or a sympathy play, that's when I'll go look at FinViz. FinViz is very powerful. It is a great tool. Ship. That is a shipper. Yeah. C Energy, just like TOPS, Top Ships. These are your typical pump and dump plays. TOPS, SHIP. What's the other one? ESEA. Right? So these are all shipping company shippers. They're very high risk, high reward plays. But right now, there's nothing on SHIP that I see. Right? No volume, fading. Tried to get back above $1, couldn't. So for now, as long as we're under $1 on SHIP, there's nothing there. There's nothing on SHIP. I would not be getting involved with that whatsoever. WHLM is pulling back. We do have some support around 1250. This is a riskier play, but we do have a lot of potential, especially if we break 1421 now. If we break 1421, we got room to 15. We are pulling back into that little hiccup area, prior resistance. Let's see if we have a trade here on WHLM. Let's see if we can get a nice low entry here on WHLM with stops below 12. If I was risking 50 cents on 200 shares, that'd be $100. 200 shares is an okay size. I'd actually start with 125 and scale in. So I'm going to see if this is going to be a pullback level on WHLM. I have 125 shares at 1248. It is a riskier play, guys. I do want to just make that known. It is a riskier anticipation play. But this one has a lot of volume, a lot of hype, a lot of momentum. It's a low float stock as well with so much potential to get up towards around 15. And I'm only risking about 50 cents on 125 shares. So let's see if it holds on up. Anything below 12, that's where I'll be stopping out. Want to see if we hold, get a reversal for a possible retest of 1421 and maybe even a break up to 15 on WHLM. And this is going to be my last trade of the day. So we are approaching 11 o'clock, slowest time of the day. I have 5 trades on the day, currently up a little over $1,000. If I get stopped out here, I'll be finishing the day slightly under $1,000 and I'm okay with that. Good or bad, I believe WHLM is going to be my last trade of the day. I'm going to enjoy these profits, make sure I keep these profits, go grab some lunch because I'm hungry, and yeah, get some work done, guys. So right now, 125 shares of WHLM. I don't want to add yet. If I add now and it comes down and stops me out, that'll be a little over $100 loss. I don't want to lose more than $100 here. If I get $2 of movement out of this, I'll make $300. So if it runs to 15 and I get $2.50 a share out of it, I still make some good money, right? 125 shares times 250, I'll make about $300 if I hit target. My stop is $50, right? So not a bad setup at all. Almost a 5-to-1 setup here on WHLM. So let's see if we get that pop. Let's see if we get that bounce and that next leg up. What do I think about Delta Airlines, DAL? I'll take a look at the chart here momentarily. But overall, I actually have some airlines in my long term, right? So I have American, United, and Delta, and Boeing. You know, those are kind of the same sector. Boeing, definitely, I love Boeing, all the government contracts. As the economy reopens and we can start more travel, you know, the airlines are always going to be around. It's the most convenient way of travel. So those stocks are always going to do well. Especially when this pandemic thing is done and no one's talking about it, it's only going to be better. So I have a lot of, you know, like some of the cruise lines. I have, you know, the airlines, hospitality, you know, a lot of that sector there. Just because, you know, we are going to see a decent recovery in my opinion. So here we go. Starting to see that bounce on WHLM. Right now I'm good. I'm happy with my entry. I'm going to go ahead and put hard stops in the system here and let this thing run if it runs. So I'm going to go $11.90 on my stop, slightly under 12. 125 shares at $11.90 stop. Let's see what happens here on WHLM. While that happens, let's look at DAL, Delta Airlines. Let's look at the technicals real quick. Technically speaking, I don't like it. Right on the first glance, I'm like, not a fan. But again, I'm not looking at this as like a short-term trade. For a day trade, I'd be looking at this as far as like a great long-term trade. I mean, off the highs before the pandemic, you know, the highs were in the 60s. You know, we still have about another $10 to $14 to go before we get back up to where we were at pre-pandemic levels. You know, we may see a pullback before that happens. So use that dollar cost averaging strategy on DAL, right? If you have 10 grand and you want to actually invest in Delta for some reason, just allocate that 10 grand, for instance, hypothetically speaking. Allocate it, right? Don't go 10 grand now, because what if it comes back down to 30 bucks, right? You want to have some more money to buy that, right? To bring your cost basis down, right? I mean, Delta could technically pull all the way back to 37.30. So, you know, I have a certain amount of money I invest every month, and I have my portfolio of about 30 to 40 stocks, and I allocate equally. So again, if I have 10 grand that I want to invest over 40 stocks, that means $250 I'll just buy wherever it's at, right? So if today was my day to buy $250 worth of Delta Airlines, how many shares would I get, right? I got 250 bucks. I would buy 5 shares. I don't care what the price is, right? I'm going to buy 5 shares, right? Next week, next month, I'll come in, I'll allocate my funds. And I do that consistently. So I'm always adding money into my long-term account, over 100 grand a year. I'm always averaging into these plays, low, high, whatever the case is. During extreme dips, like very volatile dips like here, I'll average in more. Like I'll even allocate more money because I like buying these very volatile dips, right? So I'll do like every week instead of every month until we start leveling back out, right? So I do like buying these aggressive dips because what do we know about stocks, the stock market? It's always going to go up, right? It's always going to go up. Not every company's always going to be around, but think of airplanes, guys. What's the most convenient form of transportation right now? Air, flight, airlines, right? So airlines are going to be around for some time, wouldn't you say? Absolutely, absolutely. But I want to use a comparison, SPCE. You know, why do I not have SPCE in my long-term account as a investment, right? Because SPCE is, I mean, they're going to take people to outer space. You know what I mean? Like, when is that going to happen? 5 years, 10 years? Is it even going to happen? Is it going to be regulated to where we can't take people to space? Is someone going to die and the company shuts down, right? Is the company even going to be profitable, right? It's a good, you know, I'm trying to find the word. My brain's farting today, big time. Speculation. It's all speculative. Every trade is speculative, but you have better odds on some stocks than others. My odds are greater on Delta. My odds are greater on Delta for long-term growth because, you know, everybody flies. They're going to be around. They've been around, right? I don't see any other form of transportation in the next 5 to 10 years really taking over the airlines, right? Not right now anyway. So I know Delta Airlines is a good long-term hold, right? They're a profitable company, right? We look at SPCE. How come I'm not allocating funds to this? Because it's more, you know, skepticism. Like what if? Are they even going to take people to space? What if someone dies and they go bankrupt? I mean, there's a lot of variables. So do I really think that SPCE is a good long-term, solid growth stock to where I know it's going to be here in 5 to 10 years and I know it's going to be higher than what it is today? I don't have confidence on SPCE. I can't say yes to any of those questions. I can say yes to Delta. I think Delta is going to be around in 5 to 10 years, right? I think they're a profitable company, right? They're a necessity. So overall, do I think Delta is going to be higher than it is today in 5 years? Absolutely. Apple, I buy their products, right? Technology company, very innovative. Do I think Apple's going to be around in 5 to 10 years? Absolutely. Do I think they're going to go through stock splits over the next 5 to 10 years? Absolutely. That means I just get more shares of the company and it's always going to grind higher. You know, Facebook, I think they're going to be around. Tesla, you know, a lot of these stocks I'm invested in just because I asked myself that question. Is this a stock that's going to be around in 5 to 10 years? Are they innovative? Are they adapting? Do they have strong balance sheets to where they can get through pandemics or recessions, depressions? And that's where I put my money to work. Stocks that I know can make it through tough times. I physically buy products from them. I believe that in 10 years, I'm going to continue to buy products for them. So that leads me to believe that the company's going to be around, the stock's going to be around, and the stock market historically always goes up over time. So I know in 5 to 10 years, they're going to be higher than what they are today. And that's the mindset of long-term investing. Kevin O'Leary thinks airlines are going to go bankrupt due to businesses no longer needing business travel. Why don't businesses need business travel? There's still businesses that travel, right? You know, my father-in-law, he still travels and he flies. even, just consumer leisure. Like, I want to take a trip to Europe. How the fuck am I going to get there without the airlines? How am I going to get there? I'm going to teleport. Yeah, exactly. How am I going to get there? So even if businesses is a big part of airlines. So even if businesses fail, right? Even if businesses say, you know what, we don't need airlines, we got Zoom, we're not flying people anywhere. There's still a demand from a consumer standpoint. Now, how are the airlines going to adapt? They're probably going to raise their prices, right? If they want to adapt and they want to stay in business and there's still a demand from a consumer standpoint, what are they going to do? They're going to probably hike their rates. They're going to double their prices to where they still make the same amount of money even without the business side of things. Hotels. People were saying the same thing about hotels. A lot of these hotels like Hyatt. Hey, man, business people aren't traveling to your hotel anymore. All right, well, there's still consumers, right? Me, what if I want to book a hotel at the Hyatt? It's still a demand for me, right? So overall, I do think that, I think airlines will be here. I don't think they're all going to go bankrupt. I mean, some of them may. Am I invested in Spirit Airlines? Fuck no. Am I invested in, again, LUV? What's LUV? Is that Southwest? LUV? Southwest? Am I invested in that? No. Right? I'm looking for, companies, airlines that actually go international. Delta's an international. American Airlines International. United's international. They do international flights. Right? I don't know if Southwest does international flights. I've never seen it. I know Spirit Airlines, they're not doing international flights. Count me out, right? Count me out. I want to find the companies that do domestic and international, right? Because there is a demand for international transportation, and that's where, again, Delta, United, and American really come into play. I think price hikes would cover it, absolutely. If I want to go to Europe, right now it's $500. In 5 years, whatever, it's $1,000. And I really want to go to Europe. What am I going to do? Fuck, I'm going to Europe. I got to save up $1,000. That's just what it costs. I'm still buying the flight. How else am I going to get there? I'm going to rent a boat and take the freaking boat across the Pacific Ocean and get to Europe? Yeah, right. So yeah, that's kind of my mindset. I think a little bit differently than some people do. I kind of think of me as a consumer, and that's kind of how I go through some of my my analysis. So WHLM, I'm still holding it with a stop at break even. I think this one could break up to 15 and maybe even higher today. We have good volume moving in. We have a low float stock. It's currently up 50%, nothing substantial, but it's holding a nice uptrend, right? It has nice consistency within the chart, right? Overall, everything's flowing nice. The volume looks great. I think we could see some more room to the upside today. So I'm okay with holding this at break even on WHLM. Yeah, Columbus did it. Took them a month. But yeah, if I want to go to Europe in July, I just need to leave in, June, and I'll get there a month later. Hopefully I don't starve to death first and run out of water. Paddle boat is my style. Oh yeah, Tyler. Same thing, man. I want to paddle my ass to Europe. I want to paddle to Italy. Get a great freaking workout. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to do something real quick. I want to give away something. All right, who wants to do a giveaway? Who wants something of value? All right, the market's boring. We haven't done a giveaway this week. Who wants to do a giveaway? Hey! Oh, come on, Brett. Yes! Yes, Brett, I'm doing dance lessons. Come on, man. Don't you guys enjoy my dance lessons? Jeez. If it's for free, it's for me. Yes, sir. All right, it's going to be something different. You know, I'm going to do a weird giveaway, but it's kind of win-win. All right. I'm going to give something away of value, but at the same time, I am going to ask for something in return. So it's not the typical giveaway where I just do a random draw and I pick somebody, because I need some help getting some stuff done, but I'm also willing to give away some value, a couple $100 worth of value. All right. So if you guys are up for this, you can say no. That's stupid, Josh. You know, that's difficult. Like, I'm not even going to participate in the giveaway because I actually have to spend 10, 20 minutes of my time. All right. I'll still probably do a giveaway, even if you say no. We'll have some fun and do a giveaway. But, so the website is under development, alphadaytrading.com. Okay. I've been optimizing the crap out of it. I want to make sure from different devices, different like tablets, Mac, Windows, iPhone, Samsung, I want to get a very good, broad audit of the site. Basically going to alphadaytrading.com, reviewing all of the pages, clicking the buttons, make sure everything's loading properly. It's loading fast, videos play, buttons click to certain pages. Basically just doing a full in-depth audit of the site. All right? You know, if anything stands out to you, like this doesn't load, this doesn't work, this doesn't click, hey, there's something wrong, basically, right? I want to make sure there's nothing wrong before we're good to go. Basically, I will, you guys can send me a text message or an email, and I'll pick one of you guys to give you something for free. So, I mean, it's completely up to you. All right, so if you want to do that, feel free. You can email me, basically what you find, if anything, just to make sure we're good to go for when we relaunch, just a nice audit, and I'll give away some chat and some courses, right? If you guys want, I'll even give away cash. If you guys want cash, that's cool. If you guys rather want a freaking 52 chapter course for free, I'll give away a course. If you guys want a month of membership for free, I'll give away a membership. If you guys want money, I will give you money. All right. I'm willing to pay someone to do this, but I think it would be fun to do it in the form of a giveaway. So I have a Mac, I have a Windows, I have an iPhone. I've not tested it on a tablet. The only thing is, like, I don't know. I feel like anytime I look at it, it looks good. If I grab someone else's phone and I look at it, it looks like crap. I'm like, it's weird how it is. Like my wife's phone, some things work and some things don't work. On my phone, it's like perfect. So I'm like, okay, so I can't really audit it myself because it's not realistic. You know what I mean? So but yeah, that'd be cool. And if you send me an email or a Facebook message, we'll do a giveaway. We'll do a giveaway tomorrow out of those individuals, and we'll definitely give them something for free. Yeah, different aspect ratios on different phones. Again, Samsung, iPhone. If you're using Safari, if you're using Google, if you're using Bing, right? The browser plays a huge part in it as well. As far as, again, Yahoo, Bing, Google, Safari. So there's a lot that play a factor, but I don't think a lot of you guys have been to the website in quite a while, so you don't have any stored data and stored cache to where it would, display something that it shouldn't display, right? If that makes any sense from a website development standpoint. So yeah, and then just send me a response with what you find via Facebook if we're friends, or an email at josh@alphadaytrading, and I'll take everybody, put you on a list, and we'll draw, and we'll give away some shit tomorrow. And again, you can choose between cash, a free course, or a month membership to the chat. Josh at alphadaytrading.com. That is JOSH at ALPHADAYTRADING.com, baby. Woo! Alpha Day Trading. Josh at alphadaytrading.com. Yeah, and I've done the developer tool on Google Chrome, and I tested every phone, and again, it looks right on my end. It looks great. I'm good to go. I grab a buddy's phone, say, hey, dude, look at my website. Give me some feedback. He's like, well, this isn't loading. I'm like, what? That's not loading. Yeah, the button doesn't work. I'm like, what do you mean? I just tested this yesterday. What do you mean it doesn't work? Right? And I come back home, and I'm like testing it, and I'm like, it works. On his, it doesn't. So it's super weird. I don't understand. But yeah, that'd be sweet. So weird. You sound like a real developer. It works on my computer. It does. I sound like a typical developer. It's working on my end. That's what my developer says to me all the time. It works on my end. Can you send me a screenshot of what's going on? Oh, you need to clear your cache. Really? Just clear the cache? I got your email, Jeff. Everybody else, but nice email, man. I appreciate that. I'm still gonna hook you up, Jeff. Come on, guys. I'm a man of my word. I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do something. So if you're the lucky winner, Jeff, you gonna get something for free, baby. You gonna get something for free. But I appreciate you guys. I'm getting some emails in. That was fast. I've never been able to do a website audit in less than 10 minutes. You guys are like just superheroes. Well, pow! Just making shit happen. Ah, man. So DBDB. Can you demonstrate purchasing PPJE on TOS? PPJE. So yeah, I mean, it's OTC. Number one, it's an OTC play. I never traded an OTC stock before. I'm just gonna be real. I've never touched OTC. So yeah, but if you wanted to buy it, I would buy it through the active trader tab, right? You would just select your quantity. You can't do market order if I'm not mistaken. I don't think you can do market orders with OTC. So you couldn't do buy market, sell market. You'd actually have to drop down and do a limit order. If I'm not mistaken, you have to join the ask or join the bid, right? I don't think you can market OTCs. So if you were trying to market via OTC, that would probably be the issue. Again, I've never bought one. You'd have to do a limit order, basically buy the ask. If you wanted to market order in, you just simply buy the ask, and that would get your order executed immediately. So WHLM, still technically holding. That candle concerned me here, but we are rounding out again. So we could definitely see WHLM continue to move higher. And right now I still have my stops in the system at 11.90. I'm okay with the risk. I'm okay with 60 cents of risk. I'll lose $70 on the trade. And if we get $1 above my entry, so if we start breaking above 13.50 on WHLM, I'll bring my stops to break even. All right, so I would end up bringing those stops. Right around break even, right underneath these lows. If we put in a higher high here over 13.50, we have the higher lows, my stop will be brought up underneath this low, and I'll bring it up underneath this low. So I'll have like a 12.40 stop. So I'll be risking 10 cents or $12. Okay? So that's kind of how I'm going to play WHLM at the moment. Do you have an OTC restriction through TD Ameritrade? I mean, they could have restricted you to not being able to buy OTC. I don't know. Jeff, if you buy market order on Thinkorswim, are you purchasing at the big number displayed or somewhere between the bid and ask? With with TD Ameritrade, you're getting filled on the ask, right? You're normally 90% of the time getting filled on the ask. All right, so if the ask is $1 and the bid is 90 cents and you market order in, you're probably going to get filled at $1. Every now and then you may get a mid fill, right? You might get like 95, 96, 97, right? If there is that 10-cent spread, say like 90 cents and $1. Sometimes you may get, a better fill right in the middle. All right, but 90% of the time on TD Ameritrade, you're getting filled at the highest price when you buy in via market, and you're getting filled at the lowest price when you sell via market. The really nice thing about Lightspeed is I've had times to where there's been like a 10, 20 cent spread and I buy in via market and it'll actually fill me on the bid, which is nuts. So Lightspeed loves me sometimes, right? So it's like 50-50, right? 50% of the time, Lightspeed market order, I'll get filled somewhere in the middle 50% of the time, which is great. But the other 50% of the time, it is filling me at the ask like it should. But, Lightspeed's just really, really nice. Really nice too. I'm actually going to bring those stops to break even now. I mean, I don't think we should drop back below 12.40. Let's go ahead and go cancel WHLM, $12.38. Stop. Let's go ahead and put that back in. So right now I'm risking 10 cents on the play. If we put in a lower low, I'll get stopped out at a $12 loss. If we hold a higher low and we continue to move up, we have potential. I don't want to see it back below 12.50, so I got to stop at 12.38, WHLM. Entries are 12.48, so I'm losing $12.50 if I get stopped out here. That's why I really like Lightspeed. I mean, the order execution is just amazing. It's just amazing. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, it is 11:20 in the market. One trade right now, WHLM, currently long at $12.48. Currently up $77. I'm looking for the big move. I may get stopped out. Look at that nasty candle. And I'm out. There we go. $15 loss. Look at that dump. That was disgusting. It's getting halted to the downside. Ooh, that's dirty. That's why hard stops in the system, baby. Hard stops in the system. I took a $15 loss. It's all good. That was my last trade of the day. I had profit on the table, but I really thought that we had potential to move on up. Not the case. So right now, I am ending my day $1,059.51. Biggest trade on the day, TAOP, followed by INO, and then a small little trade on VENAR, and 2 small red trades. Oh, these are the days, baby. Keep those losses small, keep those wins big. Right now, guys, you know that I was currently down as of last, was it Monday of this week or Tuesday of this week? It was Tuesday of this week. I am down slightly under $3,000, right? We talked about that. As the full month, since the beginning of the month until the 13th, right? I was down just shy of $3 grand. Yesterday, I made $550. Today, I'm up a little over $1,000. So just like that, I was able to bounce back $1,600 in 2 days, taking me from being down $3 grand to being down $1,400. What's the beautiful thing is I have just one good day. One solid, great day, $1,500, $2 grand. I will completely wipe my losses off the table, and I still have 10 plus trading days to make a comeback. So just because I was down $3 grand, did I give up? Did I get emotional? Right? Did I get frustrated? Did I black out because I was down $3 grand? No. I stayed smart. I took a step back. I assessed everything. I asked myself the proper questions, and I really just I talk to myself, right? I don't know how else to explain it. I did the right thing by stepping back and just taking a calm, cool, collective approach and shifting my mindset. And after I did that, I've had 2 green days, 2 really nice green days, $1,600 between yesterday and today. And I've been able to get myself out of that hole by 50%. So again, I'm going to stress this a lot. Sometimes when you're in a slump, right? We get in slumps. Sometimes we're in just not a good mindset and you're in a streak, a red streak. Sometimes you got to take that step back, disconnect before you can take your next step forward. And it works. We've seen that firsthand. You saw my video on TikTok Tuesday. Take a step back before you can take a step forward. My mindset has shifted a complete 180 and I'm seeing better results now, right? So guys, never black out, never beat yourself up if you're going through a slump. Just always remember that you got to take the step back to be able to take a step forward, that you can get out of that slump. I'm still down, right? I could break even the rest of the month. Anything could happen. But hey, you know, I'm making a comeback and it's slow and steady base hits from here on out. We have 12 trading days to go. No, I'm sorry. We have 11 trading days. My trading day is done today. So we have 11 trading days to go. Even if I average $100 a day, I'm break even, right? I know I can average about $300 to $500 a day in this slow market. So I know that I can still bounce back and be profitable. So if you only have TOS and not enough capital for Lightspeed right now, best way you enter a trade like you show on your live feed when you're in and out in a few seconds. So if you have TOS and not enough capital for Lightspeed right now, how best would you enter a trade like you show on the live feed? If I was using Thinkorswim, I would do market orders. Because, I mean, whenever I was using Thinkorswim and I did limit orders, let's say I was, you know, buying the bid and selling the ask via limit, right? Sometimes my orders would get tripped, right? So I would have a limit sell order at 11, I would get partially filled, right? So let's say I throw a limit order out there to get filled on TOS. If there was such a long delay that I wouldn't even get the full fill. It would fill me like half of my position. The stock would dump. I would have to get out again, right? It would like barely fill me. It wasn't fast. So what would I do on TOS? I would market order, guys, right? If you want to buy via limit, so like buy via limit order, there you go. But with TOS and selling, I would just submit a market order just because you're going to be guaranteed to get out versus trying to throw a limit order. Let's say you have 1,000 shares, right? And you throw a limit order and it fills 444. Now you got to be like, fuck, how many shares have I got left? Filled 444. Okay, I got to retype in my new quantity. All right, cool. All right, submit. Oh, shit, it only filled 222, so I got 222 shares left. Let me 222, and by the time you do that, it takes you 10 to 20 seconds, if that's the case. And by then, look at how fast a stock can dump. Let's say you're like, oh, it's dumping, I'm going to sell at 12:45. You got partially filled. By the time you type your next order in, you're getting partially filled at 12. By the time you type in the rest of your order and you get partially filled and you're out, you're getting down in the low 11s. When if you would have just hit the market order button, you would have been out at like 12.79, 12.78, 12.73, right? You wouldn't be out down at 12 completely. So that's why I do market orders. Even on TOS, I would recommend a market order. Yeah, you'd almost think that the stock market's not open because it's been so quiet the last couple weeks. But yeah, she's open and she's sleeping, right? Market is alive, awake, but taking naps throughout the day. Question, and you don't have to answer. Well, I'm going to answer. Can you make more in the stock market typically or more with social media like YouTube and TikTok? Stock market all day. Stock market all day. TikTok pays like X amount of cents per view, and they put it in comparison. Like someone that had so many million views and million followers and they were verified, they got paid $17,000. Like, okay, cool. Well, yeah. How hard is it going to be to get 1 million followers and 1 million views on all my videos to actually make a decent paycheck, right? I have better success and better odds of making money in the stock market than I do with TikTok or YouTube. Their monetization, like they pay you, but like your videos have to be consistently viral to make any kind of money. And it's like finding a needle in a haystack, what I think of. Like I'm, getting that type of hype and that type of pay is trying to find a needle in a haystack with TikTok and social media and YouTube. I have way better odds and way better success and way much more potential to make a lot of money in the stock market. Absolutely, Brett. Yes, Jeff, to answer your question. So if you have an order in the system, you would have to cancel your limit order, then submit the market order. You would have to do that. Absolutely, DBDB. Absolutely. Quick scan through the watch list, see if we have anything going on over lunch and what you guys should watch. I think Wesley was talking about INO earlier as far as like, hey, would you touch this on INO? At first, I'm like, no, right? Because we were trying to bounce off 937. We came down and bounced off that 920 level that we were talking about. And we're starting to get back above 937. So we're starting to see a little bit of a reversal here on INO. So we're starting to see the reversal, right? Nice little ascending triangle here. We have the higher lows, resistance getting above. If you see it hold 937, if INO holds 937, you could look for this to slowly build throughout the day. 937 is your new level of support. Bottom support, 920. All right, so you got about 20 cents that the stock could technically move. If it cracks below 920, it's done, in my opinion. It's done on the day, right? But if it holds above 937 and it continues to build, you could see a nice, slow and steady transition today on INO for a nice end-of-day move. So I would say INO, bottom support at the absolute lowest, 922. So if you're looking to go long, you'd want to put stops at like 919, 920. You would be looking to hold this for a good majority of the day. All right, slow, steady, slow, steady. It could get back up over 10 bucks, right? Right now, you're so close to support that if you want to buy the dip, right? You want to buy the dip and you think it has potential to get back up to 10, now would be the best time to go long with stops under 920. If it loses 920, it's coming on down. I'm not touching it though. Full disclaimer, I'm not touching it. AI, I want to keep this on high watch for tomorrow, guys. I want to keep this on high watch for tomorrow. AI. GME and AMC not doing anything. COIN not doing anything. And this is what I was talking about with the IPO guys. You know, wait a day or two, buy the dip. You know, wouldn't you rather have a 335 entry instead of a 400 entry, right? So, POAI swing trade that I'm in long term. Right now is not looking all that great, but again, it's a long term. PLUG losing the 200-day moving average. My goodness. PLUG, and that's what we said, is wait for a couple days of consolidation above the 200 just to make sure we didn't crack. And we're starting to crack the 200 now over on PLUG, so that's not looking all that great. Trying to see if we have any other kind of swing trades, any other stocks setting up for some long term. Tesla, we already know what's going on there. We're waiting on this over the next few days. I think Tesla has some good potential coming on up. And then we talked about Apple as well. Intraday head and shoulders pattern. We want to see a pullback down to like 133, level off before we get that possible U-shape up over 135. So Apple's going to be on high watch this week. So I'm just going to mark some of these that I want to keep on watch. Apple, I want to keep on high watch. Tesla as well. I want to keep on high watch. Coin, obviously we know COIN. And yeah, so that's that, guys. That is that. WHLM giving a lot back. ILMN is one we're going to be watching over the next couple of weeks as well. Lastly, we have INO. INO is the only stock that is starting to level off, starting to transition, possibly reverse in trend. And this could, depending on if traders move in, it all really depends on if traders move in. It could get back up to 1025 today. You know, that would be our level of resistance. If we ever broke over 1030, we have room to 1080. All right. So that being said, questions, comments, concerns, let me know. We'll go ahead and end the stream on a very great positive note, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I want to make sure I get those questions answered before we are done for the day. We'll be good to go. Is WHLM a good dip buy? I'm like, I don't know, man. I mean, you're going to have a possible bounce around 1050 or as low as 10, right? So, I mean, it could bounce anywhere from 1050 or even as low as $10. But could it be a good dip buy? It could, yeah. Yeah, it could. But again, just assess your risk. If you like it for a dip and you think this one has potential for an end-of-day pop as well, you don't want to see it below $10. All right, you do not want to see it below $10. Below $10, you'll see a lot of sellers move on in most likely. You do have some decent support at 1050, but again, support's between 10 and 1050. All right, we're gonna have some resistance around 1220. We're gonna have some resistance around 13, some resistance around 1350, and then up at the highs of 1421. Anything over the highs of 1421, $15 would be your next natural resistance target. VENAR, keep it on watch. Keep it on watch. If it does start building back up, it has potential back up to 1. So it is worth just kind of keeping it on your radar. Not getting involved with it, but keeping it on your radar. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for the feedback. I've been getting your reviews. I've been getting your emails in regards to the website. So thank you very much. Tyler, I got yours. Great job, man. I really appreciate that a lot. I definitely pointed out a few key things, and now I know exactly what you're talking about with the reviews. I had changed the review page, so I need to update the button. So little things like this, just to make sure we're good, that I don't notice as someone that's developing the own site for the most part, as far as the way it looks. And then Daniel, awesome. Appreciate all of you guys. So I'm going to review these today, tweak everything, make the changes. And then what we're going to do is everybody that sent me an email, we're going to go ahead and do a giveaway with you guys tomorrow. So awesome. So far it's Tyler, Danielle, Jeff, Mike, Brett, Todd, Jordan. No, this is someone else. Jordan and Todd are someone else. We got Brett, Mike, Jeff, Danielle, and Tyler. Awesome stuff, guys. I really appreciate that. And we'll do a fun giveaway tomorrow, all right? Thanks, Tyler. I appreciate it. Only took 3 years to build. Yeah, if I would have hired somebody, 50 grand in 3 months. I did it myself. Still spent a shit ton of money, but it took me 3 years. And now I'm hiring developers to do the extensive stuff that I can't do. The stuff that I can't do. Coding chat rooms and coding streams and coding. Get out of here. Nope, I'm good. I'm gravy. And again, just so you guys know, the affiliate program is currently live over on the website. So if you guys do want to become an affiliate of Alpha Day Trading, all you have to do is jump over to alphadaytrading.com. Go up to affiliates. All right, go up to become an affiliate. If you want to become an affiliate, guys, sign up. All right, you'll receive an email. You'll receive a link. You'll receive a link. You share that social media. You share that with people that are interested. Anytime they click your link, they come in here and they sign up, you're actually going to receive 25% commission reoccurring. No, 20% commission reoccurring. So every month that membership goes through, you're going to receive a 20% kickback as a thank you for becoming an affiliate. All right. So that's on anything. If they purchase scanners, you're an affiliate. They purchase any chat room subscription, you're an affiliate. You're going to get a kickback, guys. All right. See, I can definitely see that. Momentum Scana. Yeah, that's wrong. I changed it here, but I forgot to change it down here. So there's definitely a few things to go ahead and just redo. But overall, coming together pretty well. Coming together pretty well. You like my nice little background here? Look at that. Look at this beautiful guy. This is me. This is my office. Look at that. Look at little Joshy. Look at his ears. Oh, he's so cute. Oh, look at him talking. Such a handsome fella. So yeah, guys. So we're making great progress. Making great progress, and I appreciate you guys' feedback. So chat room should be live soon. Let's go ahead and look at chat and see if there's been any edits made. I want to log in on a demo account. Let's go ahead and log in. Let's see if those changes have been made internally yet. Nope, not yet. So we got a couple features being added to the chat room. We're changing the theme of it to where it blends with the site, to where it looks a lot better. All right, so we're changing some of the functionality with the chat room. We're changing some of the functionality with the live stream, giving you some functions to be able to pop the live stream out along with your chat boxes to be able to resize these and basically put them anywhere on your screen. Really just give you a nice personalized layout. Yeah, just some overall functions. We're adding an interactive live stream to where we'll actually participate with members live. Be able to jump on the mic, share your screen, all kinds of cool stuff. That's coming soon. So we got a lot of cool features, guys, coming on up. Lessons library is getting redid. We got all of our nice lessons in our lessons library. Going to be updating that soon as well. So, yep, just making some edits here and there. But I'm excited. I can't wait to get her going. I can't wait to get it going, baby. I'm excited. I am fired on up. It's going to be a good old time, guys. Bill, question, I purchased the course, but can't access the website. Do I need to do something else? Yeah, the course is going to be hosted on Thinkific, right? So when you purchase the Ultimate Day Trading Starter Kit course, you're actually over here on Thinkific, right? So you would be landing on this page. Thinkific. So you would actually be, again, landing on this page, right? So signing in. So this is where the course is hosted, Thinkific, Ultimate Day Trading Starter Kit course, all right? That is completely separate than the website. So when we go live, all right, so when everything's ready to go and we're ready to migrate back over to Alpha, you will be able to click Login or Register. You're going to actually have two buttons internally, one to log in and then one to register, be able to pick a subscription, right? Right now, everything's done under Join the Team. So whenever that's, available, you'll be able to come down. Let's say you want to sign up for the weekly. You'll just sign up. You'll have access to purchase. You'll get login credentials. You'll be able to set all of that up. And then when you come in to the website, you'll go up here to login register. You'll click login, which would actually take you to this page here after you log in. If you're on your phone, we're actually building a mobile chat room. So it's going to be mobile friendly for you guys. All right. Custom tailored. That's a big deal. A lot of people want to trade from their phone. And then if you're on a desktop, you'll be able to access the desktop chat room. So this is going to be where we host everything moving forward. You get the lessons library. All right. That's included, over 100 lessons in there for you guys. Scanners and screeners built right in. And then you'll get the live stream. You'll get the custom chat rooms. We have 5 chat rooms. So Matt will be alerting his options and futures plays. I will be alerting all of my equities plays, free-for-all chat, collaborate and exchange ideas with other traders. All of this is saved. You got some cool functionality, searching by username and ticker. A lot of cool stuff here in chat. So this is what you're going to get access to whenever we do go live. Again, hopefully in a week or so. Again, I'm not in any rush. I like doing this with you guys for free over on YouTube. We're having fun, dropping a lot of value bombs. You guys love it. I love doing it. So even if it takes a month, I'll still do this for you guys over on YouTube. Absolutely. I like helping you guys out and building you up and providing that value. All right, so it's 11:41, guys. Let's go ahead and wrap up our beautiful Thursday. Currently locking in $1,059.51. Not a bad little bounce back, not a bad little comeback. And we still have, ladies and gentlemen, 11 trading days to go. Nothing but green from here on out. And I cannot wait to see the final results for this month. Continuing to drop value bombs with you guys. A lot of education, a lot of fun. I really do enjoy this, working with each and every one of you every single day. And I hope you enjoy working with me as well. So with that being said, if you guys ever have any questions, comments, or concerns, hit me up, josh@alphadaytrading.com. Until then, happy and safe trading. I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning, 9:10 Eastern Standard Time, as we kick off our pre-market commentary session. And you guys know the drill. Start me off with a big old, what we gonna do, how we gonna end this beautiful day. That's what I'm talking about, John. In 3, 2, 1. Woo! Have an awesome day, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Stay smart. Stay safe. Lock in those profits when you have them and end your day on a green note, guys. I will see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a fantastic evening.